Hello, welcome to us Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob, and I'm joined by James. Hiya.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm excited. I'm hype as not swearing, so the kids can watch at home.
Round of
Thank you so
applause.
much. But let me tell you, I'm excited. So excited that we might have to check and GPS where the closest hospital is. We're in round 5 of the LGT 2019. It's the final. There is potentially 4 tables worth of people that can win, but it's very difficult for that to be the case if either of the 2 players we're about to see go 20-0.
Yeah.
We've had Jack on the stream already, Mr. Jack Armstrong, and Darren Watson has had all of his games this weekend recorded. So if Darren wins it, you are actually going to be able to watch one man's pile through to victory.
Yeah.
Later on when we get through to YouTube. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be possibly one of the this is a battle of the heavyweights. I'm not saying this is the rumble in the jungle, but this is definitely.
But it might be. I mean, we're not going to jungle map, but we'll pretend. Everyone can pretend.
This is at least Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris at this stage.
I reckon.
It's big. Let us know in the Twitch chat if you're excited. I'm actually going to go straight to the tabletop so you can start to see what's happening. And we'll explain what is happening as we go forward. There we go. So potentially... hello, is it the table of veggies off to the side? Yes, that's right. We're staying super healthy. Let us know where you're watching from. I'd be excited to know where you are watching from. Now, we have got a 9 Stormfiend list played by Mr. Jack Armstrong against a change host. Yeah, it's true that Jack's had a bunny run up till now. He's had nothing but absolute cakewalks as games. Whereas Darren has had to play the Russian ETC captain.
Yep.
He's had to play Ben Sava. He has had nothing but rock hard matchups all the way. So Darren is possibly mentally fatigued.
Yeah.
Because he's already had a ton of tough matchups, whereas Jack is coming into this fairly fresh. But Jack might have the edge of taken off, and he isn't in that headspace that Darren's been in for the whole weekend.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
A really interesting choice. Oh, thank you, Crazy Horse, for the 1,500 bits donation, and thank you to everyone who subscribes and is on Patreon. The fact that you do that means we're able to bring you such top level coverage. So I just want to say big thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, do you think that's going to play a big factor here?
I think it could do, and I think you're probably looking at 2 people who know each other very well, who know armies very well, who are gonna be kind of pushing, and I think we're both aware that if they go 20-0, they're gonna probably win.
Yeah, whoever of these twos takes to 20-0, if they do, is going to win. So as you can see on the overlay, it's total conquest, so 4 objectives, and we'll talk about more about the there.
Yeah, you can see here.
Kenny Lull, thank you also for the 1,600-bit donation. Appreciate that tons. You guys are absolute legends. I think you guys are excited as us for this game because it's the thriller from Manila. Is that how you say these words?
Let's say yes. If someone corrects us, we'll ignore that in the chats.
Right.
I think. Maybe?
Yeah, I mean...
Is that how we're going to work it? We'll just pretend we didn't see that one.
Also, thank you for subscribing, Elf Bro. Appreciate that tons.
Yeah, so I guess this is going to be a point, and I imagine the setup will be well thought through and slow.
It's going to be real slow. It's going to be real specific. There are 2 major threats coming out of the Skaven army, played by Jack Armstrong. It's got 9 Stormfiends and 40 Plague Monks. There's 3 lots of 20 Clan Rats. They're just chaff. And the real big and important part is that the Warlock Engineers. Darren's list, with some unbinds, that's going to be important. Darren's list is a change host, kind of the boogeyman of the last edition of Age of Sigmar, but currently been played by a lot of people as we've gone into this version of Age of Sigmar. But whether or not they're actually going to it's going to win is still to be seen.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see when how it holds up, and it's super magic based. And we've seen a few of these. Well, we've seen 2 on stream, right? Of these 9 Storm Fiend lists in 2 kind of different forms. But it'll be interesting to see how they held up to being shot by about 12 endless spells.
Yeah. So if you guys press the BIP button, if you're watching the stream chat, then you'll be able to see the list. If you guys are watching on Facebook, jump into the Twitch stream because it's totally worth it, and you're going to have a great time. Going to be there. Crazy Horse asking if this is Tzeentch's list is similar to mine. No, it's not. This is a change host. So that means that Darren, and this is an important point to make, Darren has got the option to go first or to give the first turn away, which is going to be quite telling, realistically. Yeah, it's going to be quite telling in what he does. So as you're looking at the people deploy, you know that while Jack's deploying, he knows that Darren can go first.
Yep.
Yeah, and while Darren's deploying, he knows that he can go first or give the choice. So yeah, we have seen the 9 Storm Fiends go by this Gnaw hole. The issue with those Storm Fiends, yeah, is their effective range is about 30 inches. Yeah,
Yep.
The wind fire launchers plus their movement.
Yep.
That's not. Yes, I think that's
Wind
right.
something wind launchers.
No, it's the wind launchers, but I'm just double checking the effective range of them.
Maybe I think the wind launchers are 24.
Yes, potentially. I'm just gonna. I had it in my head.
I'm
and then
hoping. I'm just waiting for someone in chat to correct us, but no one has yet. Maybe
Help
no one
us.
knows.
They're not corrected. They're helping, I reckon.
Okay, one or the other.
Yeah, that'll do. Wind launchers are 24, and they do move 6, so 30. I got it right. I got
There we
worried.
go.
I got worried.
It's the 5th game.
Yeah. So there's also a screaming bell here going down, which Jack we saw in his game against Luvo ended up getting a double 6 on the first roll and getting a free Vermin Lord.
Which is always a pleasant appearance for your opponent.
Exactly. Now, Darren has got his 1-drop change host. Oh, it's fantastic. Thanks for joining the knee stabbing gang. Let's go. So pumped to tune in. This is a big game.
Look at that.
This is a big game. This is kind of the old guard versus the new guard when it comes to competitive Warhammer, realistically. So I'm excited to see it play through. AD Mac, Speckles says shut up Speckles. Keeping up with AOS much. Do the flying dwarves still stuck? No, they're quite good actually. They're a good counterpick to the top lists. So because Darren's got a 1-drop change host, and he's also got, and this is really, really important, a character called the Changeling.
Who I think the Changeling has been deployed.
We're going to double check where. Wait. Okay, so he's in the corner. We will get the board cleaned up of those books and make sure it looks real nice for you guys at home as we go forward. So because he's got the change host, he can do a ton of different spells, and because he's got the changeling, he's going to be able to slow the movement down of a unit, which is interesting because these 4 objectives are what the game is all about. Yeah, and these Storm Fiends are absolutely going to be able to go and grab these areas. So basically what's happening is this Gnaw hole and this Gnaw hole are where they can go. Potentially this is a fake. He's like, I might teleport here, I might teleport here. But by doing that, he's letting Darren know where he could go. The Plague Monks can also go through those Gnaw holes as well. What Darren wants to do is keep his Lord of Change alive as much as possible and keep him out of the way, because as we've seen, these things go through 9 Kurnoth. The Storm Fiends go through 9 Kurnoth Hunters like they're made of butter.
Yeah. Not wood. No wood.
No. Also, you've got Destiny dice as part of this play, and so more warp power. Which, if you follow Laurie Hugget Wiggett on Twitter, he'll tell you has gone off out of 27 times he's seen it cast. It's only gone off not once or something.
Excellent.
However, he's against the Tzeentch army now, and they will just pick. Not only have they got, as the Lord of Change got a great ability to shut down spells, he can just pick the result and shut down those spells. Or the Gaunt Summoner, get him within 30 inches and just go, no, you're not having that spell. And that really is going to make a big difference, because those Storm Fiends are not re-rolling to hit, and not re-rolling to wound, and not adding +1 damage to their shots.
Which is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah. It's really interesting. My money, if I had to, is on Darren.
Yeah?
Yeah. Twitch chat, what do you think? James, what do you think?
I think for me, like, we've seen Darren play game after game, strength after strength. He's played some really tough matchups. He's made some really, really strong decisions. And I think Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see this kind of matchup. And I think maybe he's got the superiority where all that magic's concerned. I mean, those 40 Plague Monks are disgusting, but there's enough bodies in this change host list to maybe slow them down and keep popping into different colours.
Mm-hmm.
And a purple sun over their head's not going to be something they like.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, there are two threats. There are just the Storm Fiends. There are also the Plague Monks and the Tzeentch list. So a lot of people say in the chat that they don't have the Horde clearance, which is an interesting conversation because right now he doesn't. Apart from the 40 shots that he has from the Pink Horrors, because there are 4 lots of Pink Horrors in this list. Yeah, so 4 lots of 10s, and when we get to all the units finished deploying, we'll see. However, that's going to become 80 lots of blue horror shots. Yeah. And honestly, that is the Horde clearing that you don't see.
Yep.
Yeah. It doesn't look like you're like, oh, they don't have a spell that just deletes it in a turn. It's like, nope, they're going to shoot them over the course of 2 turns. Or even if the blues die, the brims, I promise you it's the shooting that's going to take it down. So the Plague Monks are battling against the horrors.
Yep.
And then it's all of the endless spells and the spell casting from Tzeentch versus the Storm Fiends. That's the kind of matchup that we're looking at, as well as obviously playing the scenario. Narratively, it makes sense that the Tzeentch forces just decided that the Skaven army is going to be here now. Or has the Skaven army played a trick on the Tzeentch force and has somehow arranged for them to be... Who's the sneakiest, rats or Tzeentch?
But if the rats had planned that, doesn't that mean that Tzeentch knew that all along? Because that's the way the narrative works, right? You hide Galmaraz, you let them find Galmaraz, you know... everything just happens for those reasons.
Yeah.
So I think we've just had confirmation, that Darren's going to deploy the rest of his armies now and take the first turn.
Okay. Really interesting, I think, in my opinion. John's going to make sure we get up to the minute information from the tabletop, and it's crystal clear. So yeah, in Total Conquest, there are these 4 objectives you can see on the screen. There we go. Have we seen a handshake?
No, not yet.
Interesting. So there are these 4 objectives, and you score a VP for each objective held. You get a bonus victory point for each objective captured off the opposing player that turn.
Yep.
And the most VPs obviously score the major victory. So that's what this is all about. I'm so excited. Honestly, I can feel myself stumbling over the story and racing through it. So apologies, everyone at home.
There's a change host. There will be no speed.
Skaven can't be manipulated. Nagash and Tzeentch hate them because they can't predict them. Gaunt Summoner can Thanos snap those Plague Monks. Absolutely. Boom. Yeah, half of them gone. Yeah, Thanos. We need to call that Thanos slapping. Thank you. So who said that? Learn, Trade, Play. Thank you. We're going to use that in the future if you don't mind. So Darren with the first turn, and he's going to start measuring what he's going to do with his Lord of Change. It's going to be really important. So you're going to see some change host movement now. So in the hero phase, you're going to see movement. You're going to see units moving around.
Yep.
This is the shenanigans part of the game, and is so. So you got the Storm Fiends are deployed at the back. If everyone's interested, the Plague Monks are here. Clan Rats everywhere else with a Screaming Bell in the center. Yeah, that's what we currently have, and then we have. This Purple Sun shouldn't be on the board. It's not currently in play.
Could we lose the Purple Sun?
That'd be great. Thanks, John.
I'm guessing maybe he's left it there because he thinks it's coming out instantly.
Yeah, probably, but it's okay.
It's going.
Right, so let's go look at the board from a slightly different angle and see what you guys think realistically. So, there you go. So we're going to see what happens here. Hero phase is going to be really important to keep track of, John. I'm going to be very interested to see what goes off. I'm nervous. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a heavy hero phase, isn't it? With change host, we're going to see a lot of stuff happening, and the changelings going for a stroll, I think.
Okay, so everyone, as you're watching at home, has the table been kicked? No, that's fine. This is going to be a slow game, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's why I apologise for my raciness. This is going to take a while, and it is, and there's going to be a lot of decisions are made. So bear with us. It's not going to be the paciest. We'll try and have some jokes. Keep yourselves entertained in the Twitch chat. Arguably, this is going to be one of the most technical games of Warhammer you'll have seen on a live stream.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about it.
So there's a lot of measuring of where this changeling's deploying, which I'm guessing is to block deployment from that Norhole.
Yes, absolutely. He's also, I'm more than likely going to be putting a spell through there. But what spell is he going to do? Darren's list he's got a Purple Sun. He has a Balewind Vortex. Yes, absolutely. I'm just going from memory because, interestingly, me and Darren actually did a show earlier in the week, which is going up as a show soon, talking about his list. So he's got the Aether Void Pendulum, the Balewind Vortex, the Purple Sun of Sheesh, Soul Snare Shackles, and Umbral Spell Portal, and Prismatic Palisade. Pretty certain we're going to see Shackles go down. I imagine that's going to come from the Gaunt Summoner here. Balewind Vortex is going to go up with his the Herald of Tzeentch. So that's going to be 2d6 mortal wounds at about 27 inches, but it might not be yet because that's going to put them in Storm Fiend range potentially. He's also got to block off the Gnaw holes. There's a Gnaw hole here as well. Jack might just be playing for the double turn.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going. So apparently, yeah. Okay, he's apparently he's planning for a double turn, and then somewhere around here, no gap's been left big enough for a Purple Sun to get anywhere within those Storm Fiends. Yeah,
it would be nice to get an update on the Destiny dice. Thanks, Pete, and find out what the Destiny dice results are.
There they are.
And also, what's really important to remember for our table boss, I'll tell him that in a minute, is everything that you hear these two players say, with the exception of what their units can do, is a lie. They're going to be lying to each other, which is why you can't mic up players.
No.
Yeah? He's going to be like, I'm going for the double turn. He will say out loud.
Yep.
But do we think he's going to do that? That's the real question. It's all subterfuge, counterplays, really, really interesting and serious. So don't for a moment think that things that the table boss is hearing is the actual facts.
So we have the Destiny dice. We've got a 1.
Very important.
A 2.
Yes.
6 3s.
Oh, not the best.
I mean, that's a lot of 3s.
That is the best.
And a 1 6.
Okay, that's fine. It's really not too much of a drama. But 6 3s, did you say?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's some unstatistical rolling.
Yeah, that's not the best, realistically. So Darren should go second, says Speckles. Speckles, love you, but I don't agree. I think what you're going to see is some wonderful...
Do Speckles plays change host?
There we go. We've seen a handshake. I'm not sure what it's about. We'll find out that goss in a moment.
I think that was the start of the game handshake.
Oh, what? Oh, because the game has just started because he's redeployed the changeling.
Okay.
That's a gutting Destiny dice pool, realistically.
So he's got the ability to change those, has he? Did we say he can change those Destiny dice with?
Yes, he potentially can change one of them.
Okay.
As we go forward. Oh, there are so many options that you're going to see here happen. Was that really the handshake? They messed with each other. That is the handshake, but it might have been a lie, bud. It might have been. Jack is leaving to go and check his WhatsApp messages and see what they've told him to do. But while we're waiting for Jack to return, I think we might be able to get some information from Donal on the tabletop. From the update from what's happening in the rest of the event.
Not our tabletop, everyone else's.
So over to our man in the field, Donal. If you guys are watching, by the way, feel free to ask him some questions on the Honest Wargamer Twitter. He's in charge, or follow him on the Honest Wargamer Instagram. And lastly, you guys should just share this out to everyone because this is going to be an incredible game. Let's get a load of hype in the chat. This is the Age of Sigmar community watching some top-level Warhammer and one of my favourite people in the world, Donal Taylor.
Hey, everybody. So while Darren is sneakily moving things while Jack's not on the table, and then Jack's going to come back, and then Darren's going to try to do some stuff. I'm just going to go through the top 5 tables, talk a little bit about my thoughts on it, and then some other things that we're seeing in the rest of the matchup at the LGT. I am going to update on Twitter in the next after this. And try to keep you posted on Table 2, which is super important for the LGT, because depending on how this game finishes, Table 2 players could actually win. So Table 1, we obviously have Jack, 9 Storm Fiends, 40 Plague Monks, Armstrong, versus Darren, Change Host Watson, which we're going to cover. We've got Peter versus Tech. So Peter, who played the Daughters in the last game, versus Tech with the Deepkin. We're going to follow that and keep you posted on how that goes. Table 3, we have Slanesh and Kairos versus Fire Slayers. Table 4, my Collie Cochrane with his Fire Slayers versus Thomas with his Feck list. 2 people, by the way, that I have 100% win rates against. So should I be actually on Table 3? Maybe, but I promised Rob that I do this, and I don't regret it at all. Table 5, we have Simon, used to be playing Devoted of Sigmar with his Daughters, and Ben Murphy with his Nagash. Other players that are worth mentioning, Ben Sava has dropped all the way to Table 22, having reached the lofty heights of Table 1 yesterday. Laurie Huggett Wigbit, he's on Table 15, having done what I now define as the Laurie submarine. That's lose your first 2 games and then win 3 on the trot. He's going to finish in the middle of nowhere, but keep posted on Laurie Cam, because watching him trying to look happy when he's lost 2 games is quite frankly hilarious. Other games going on, we have Leo with his Iron Jaws versus James Grant on Table 10 with Stormcast. We have Steve Curtis playing his Feck against Sam Saunders. Don't know what Sam has because he's accidentally deleted his list. And Vince Chan versus Max Barton on a Corn Off on Table 8. That's interestingly Max's 3rd game of Corn in this tournament. So keep you posted on how they're going. I'll also follow Mitzi because he's got Gitz, and Ming, who's got his Trog army. And I'm going to go back to Rob and James, and they can update on what Darren's first hero phase is, and still be on the next hero phase when I come back for another update in 45 minutes to 3 hours.
Thanks, Donal. Appreciate that. So, yeah, welcome back to the London GT. Game 5. We've got Jack Armstrong with Skaven versus Darren Watson with his Disciples of Tzeentch. This is a change-host Disciples of Tzeentch army versus, I think it's like a 9 to 12 drop Skaven list. If you actually click the BIP button in the chat on Twitch, you'll actually be able to see the list for yourselves. The core of the Skaven army, though, is 9 Storm Fiends, which you see at the top, and 40 Plague Monks. I'm Rob, and I'm joined by James, helping me with the commentary. Hi, James.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Are you excited about this?
Yeah, I think we're in for another long slog. We might go the 5 turns again. And I guess now we're going to start to see some spells.
So this initial thing that you're seeing here is a change host move. So effectively getting closer. As we understand it, the intent that Jack had with these screens was that a Purple Sun can't be cast into his lines at the back. He's seeing that as the major threat to his Storm Fiends. I think he's lying.
Well, I think there might be a problem because a spell portal's just gone off.
Yeah, so the Purple Sun can't go through the spell portal.
No.
Not initially. But what he's going to be doing, I think, is he's going to... I'd be interested to see what... So he's going to do Gateway through from the Lord of Change, and I personally think he's going to target those Bombardiers.
Okay.
With Gateway, but I'll be interested to see what he does decide to do. Shadowhammer, thanks for subscribing. I hope you're doing really well. Laurie is the true winner.
I'm not sure Laurie is the true winner.
He's not the true winner.
But he did have a smile on his face at lunch, and that's well played.
That's a nice change. So this 18-inch line that you get from the Lord of Change, who just in case is just behind there on that piece of terrain, which is commanding.
Yeah,
and it's important. The command ability from, we're going to get this from our table boss. The command ability has been used how many times with the Aether Quartz brooch being used? That'll be important.
So
don't ask him any questions at the moment. Okay, sweet. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so the Bombardier is being targeted, which means that Robert was correct, and I think what we're gonna see now is some kind of serious magic phase and all of that going off. So I'm going to ask Robert the question because I believe he was right. Why is it you think he's targeting those Bombardiers?
The Warlock Bombardiers.
Yeah.
Because they've got more power.
Okay.
Take that out, but they've also got unbinds.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good because he's going to put a bunch of under spells on the board.
Yep.
And then what he's going to do, he's going to say to Jack, "You're not allowed to unbind these." So his mission is just going to be to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Then he already has magic dominance, but he wants to go for total control of the board space. So that's absolutely what he's aiming to do, which is going to be real good, and I think it's going to really change the shape of the game. Jack took some off. Was it his Warlock? Did the Warlock did die?
I think we missed that.
We're just swapping table bosses to Donal. So Donal having a great in order to not ask any questions.
Yep.
From the to the players who are in a very tense, tight game. We've actually put a world-class player like Donal on the tabletop, so he's going to be able to just bring you all the information really well. So appreciate John doing our table bossing.
And that purple sun's just gone down, hitting 20 clan rats.
There we go. And we'll find out from our table boss which unit Jack did take off. I'm pretty certain it was a Warlock Bombardier.
Did a Warlock Bombardier die?
It was.
Yes.
It was. Perfect.
Cool.
There you go.
We've
So
got it.
Bombardier gone.
Thanks for whoever noticed.
Yeah.
Because we're too excited.
Yeah, and also having the Bombardiers go
Yep.
of which there are only 2, they also buff the Storm Fiends.
Yep.
So it's a double down on threats. Because those Storm Fiends with the rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound.
Yep.
And I'm almost certain he actually also killed the Bombardier with the Vigor Dust Injector, but I'll double check. Because if he did, that's the one that gives him +1 to hit. That's right, and a Purple Sun. Last edition, if you put a Purple Sun on the board, you were a joke. This edition, you're in a very, very tough spot.
Yeah.
And then, Dazza, you're right, is creating, I don't think he's necessarily creating a moving block screen, but what he's threatening is the next turn. It's very, very exciting. John,
Okay, so I'm just going to butt in.
Yep.
So it was the Vigor Dist Injector, because it was the one with the artifact, but funnily enough, I don't think it was purposefully that one. It was the only one he could see.
Oh, that's fantastic. So that's actually the other artifact which makes the Storm Fiends really good. So just by happenstance, and that's a misplay by Jack, having that one be the one that's at the front.
Yeah. So I guess I mean that's interesting, right? That somehow in that setup, I guess maybe that was a mistake. That the one that was more noticeable.
It was absolutely a mistake. Yeah, because he has to know that the mirrors, these mirrors are on the board, so you know what the threat range is of the mirrors. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, and Rob's talking, and you
Go
might
for
be able to hear me, but that looks fun.
So our table boss is a little bit biased. He's not overly a fan of the moving blocking that endless spells can do, and I agree. It can be a little bit uncomfortable, but to be honest, having seen those Storm Fiends delete 9 Kurnoth Hunters in 1 round of shooting,
Yep.
I don't mind them staying where the hell they are
No,
right now.
and I think so. So the problem is, isn't it? So we were discussing this earlier, but if you're playing an army and one of its jobs is to do that, then that's how you play it, right? Because you don't buy a probably £1,000 Warhammer army to not use it as was intended. That would be my kind of take on it, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be... So Wall's gone down as well, and the Wall is really interesting as a spell. I'd be interested to see... Have you noticed also that he's also already pendulumed his own pink horrors? Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah. So that'll put him some blue points on the board, which is going to be a really big deal for him playing through.
There's nothing like killing your own models.
Yeah, I have never seen Jack lose, says Hawkeye. I'm pretty certain that this is the game you're going to see him lose. This is
That is a big statement, right?
I just it's so I can I'm not dumb. Yeah, I play Warhammer.
Do you? I didn't know.
I've played it a few times.
I didn't know you played.
And what you'll have to do here is you'll have to point out to me where he's going to go. Is he going to go through? Is he going to go through here? What's he going to shoot at? Yeah?
Well, so there's a model here, though, isn't there? So
there is. So he's not going to go through.
no,
there, right?
so he's only going
Here.
right. Yeah, that's.
but is that what he intends to go through? Like is that what Darren wants? And is he going to go through there soon?
So for me, I almost part of me kind of thinks, so if and obviously no one can, but at a later date, because all of Darren's games have been recorded, you'll be able to see. So in Knife to the Heart, which was our game 4 and Darren's game 4, he kind of used a similar technique to box Fire Slayers in while he slowly picked them off.
Yes.
So I think earlier what we were discussing is the fact that Darren has had tough game after tough game.
And Jack's had easy game after easy games, and Darren's in this like really tough headspace, and he has been in there since yesterday, where he had to play Ben Sava with 9 Storm Fiends. So he's already beaten 9 Storm Fiend list once. And this is twice. Darren has had to have a whole 2 practice games with this army, though, to get good with it.
Yeah,
so
I mean, 2 games. I mean, he might as well be a beginner, right?
He's also one of the Bruces, which are, in my opinion, 3, at least Chris and Rick, the 3 of them together are some of the best war gamers that I know of. Super innovative. They play an interesting way. I don't know how they play. So I find it really interesting to watch. And I've been a big fan of watching Darren play for a very long time. So we've seen a Bellwind Vortex go down. I'm interested to see what Jack's counterplay is going to be. Those monks are going to have to go somewhere. They can't run and charge. They're pretty limited. It's very different to Ben Sava's list. He's put the Soul Screen Bridge in, and his ability to teleport across is a major deal.
I think that kind of extra maneuverability that came with Sava's list was important, right?
Yeah.
Whereas here, blocking up those null holes is going to make this fail.
Getting a list of all the horrors is going to be a big deal as well. I reckon John, our infield reporter, will be able to also add some information like horrors and type it in the Twitch chat for you guys as you're all excited. Who's pumped? Who is pumped? I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I think it's exciting to see what's going on as well, right? It's exciting to see kind of how these models go and what's going on with them. I'm gonna have a nose at the church chat. Let's see what you're all saying. So the Dreadwoods is super into Darren. I'm not sure who that is. You can give me a name if you want. Oh, he's a babe. Someone's got a crush, I think. So we'll just maybe we'll tweet that later, or maybe I'll tweet that later. I'm sure not the rest of the world's going to agree. Also, AD Mac, as the oldest player in Warhammer, you might not like me anymore. I'd be intrigued to see why you think the game's already over, and see what you think on that. Okay. So I agree, probably, Seb. It is going to be an uphill struggle at this point, but yeah, it is. It's going. I think this is tough. I mean, he's already got a load of stuff in his way, and only one wizard to get rid of those.
So just going to the tabletop there for an update. Pretty soon we'll find out an update for where we are in the game. Just lost some communication for a second there. Right. Oh my God, I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be good. What's going down, really, I think, is...
We're in the movement phase.
Waiting for AD Mac's response to why he thinks the game's already over.
We do know Darren's Destiny dice. Guys in the chat will be able to... It consists of 6 3s, a 6 and a 1.
So, so let's... I guess So again, we're going to apologise because I think the hero phase is going to be the longest section in the world, I think. And I'm not sure what else we do about that, really. You'll just have to bear with us because it's going to be intense and it's going to be long.
It is going to be a long-ass game. Hey, buddy. Hi, Velatron. How you doing? Chuckle, buddy. So...
I feel like there's quite a lot of people in this channel, certainly.
I think there's a lot of people hyped for this game. Who do you guys want to win? That's the real question. Let me know. I'm excited. Also, let me know where you're watching from because I also enjoy that too. I like the Age of Sigmar community all across the world. We're one big family, and it's real nice us all being in this room to watch this game.
Also, we were with Darren yesterday evening because someone asked if he was allowed out.
Last night, yeah, we went for kerfuffle, I think it's called.
It was
I
good.
don't really know Greek food very well.
It was Turkish.
I mean,
Good geography here. Good geography. We went for Turkish food. It was amazing. They fed us before we'd even ordered. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we are on the movement phase, and just in case anyone cares, because I'm sure you will, the changeling who's here is still a friendly model.
Still a friendly model. Okay.
So he's still chilling. He's still a rat.
Okay. Still a rat, pretending he's a sneaky ass rat.
If he was gonna be a rat, which rat do you think he'd be?
I think he'd probably pretend to be a grey seer, so he got left alone.
Probably.
Yeah, or maybe even you don't want to be a lowly clan rat. You want to have you have to have some sort of like threat or fear. Otherwise, some other fellow will just come and get you.
Yeah,
so
pretty
I think
much.
he's still trying to be. So what you've seen in the movement phase is Darren has withdrawn. I'll go back to the overhead. He's actually withdrawn with the Lord of Change down into this bottom, so screening as much as possible. So he's been able to do all of his offensive output, and then because of he's just been able to move back. Yeah, so now he's real safe at the moment because the big threat is the double turn. This is where I'm going to get into some prediction if you want. I don't think Jack's the sort of player that plays the double turn. He's saying he's going to, but he isn't. It's just he's not. I wouldn't say it's on him to put that. So he would have to. He could teleport to here, yeah, and even then he's still got a 30-inch range.
Yep.
Not in range. So if he wins the turn, maybe he'll give it to Darren. But if he gives it to Darren, Darren is going to be able to change host over to here, do mortal wounds into them, which I don't think is what he'll do, but he could.
Yep.
Yeah. He's just got so many options and a bunch of board control. Also, if he gives the turn away,
yep,
to Jack, to Darren in that turn, if that unit's there, this unit of Brims could come up and block him off as well.
Yeah.
There are loads and loads of options.
I think there's just so much going on before we've even really started. I think is probably one of the bigger things, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think our update is we're 40 minutes into the game.
No way, are we? Are we?
Maybe into the round because everything was a bit late starting.
Okay, well, it's all going to be about points on the board, and currently we're not at the end of Darren's turn. So as you can see, a unit of blue. So the changeling has put a unit of brimstone of blue horrors down. They weren't originally there, so they've been summoned. We'll find that out from the tabletop. That will happen at the end of the movement phase. So that would be now if they were summoned blue horrors.
Yeah, so the blue horrors have been summoned.
Perfect.
So. Okay, and these haven't moved, and we don't know if that's intentional or they're so little and pathetic they've been forgotten.
The brimstones. I think nothing's been forgotten realistically. I think all of it is intentional. So I'm excited to see. If you notice where this pendulum is, this is where all of the pink horrors originally were.
Yep.
But what they've done is they've had the pendulum go through their lines, and then they've retreated. So I think that's really telling. So I think that's gonna be pretty key. So then everything is outside. Bruce Hammer's saying that he reckons that what Darren has done is set up to let Jack have the double.
Yeah.
I personally don't think he's the sort of player that would take the double. Not take the double. Sorry, he wouldn't run for the double. That's how I measure it.
Okay.
But we'll see. The right horrors did move. Thanks, fantastic. Also, Misha. Hope the kid's well. Right, so we're into Jack's turn. I'm pretty certain. We'll make sure our table boss John changes that.
Okay, so we're currently just agreeing that those blue horrors basically are actually stopping that gnaw hole.
Stopping the gnaw hole from anything from going through the gnaw hole.
Which I guess is important.
It is. There's intent and then there's fact. Yeah, because it is going to change the shape of the tabletop. So both players just making sure they agree before they move on, so there's no take-backs later on. That's how you play. That's really good. Okay, look at this wall. The clan rats, they're going to struggle. Those plague monks are also going to be the issue. So if the plague monks take the long route, and go this way,
yep,
they're going to be in a tough spot. If they go this way, there's the threat of the purple sun. Also, by the way, if Jack takes the turn,
yep,
these and the spells are going to get to move, which is pretty important.
Yeah, and some pinks have battle shocked and come back to the fight. So there's some pinks.
Did he use a one or roll a one?
I missed whether he used one of his destiny dice because I believe there was a one in there. Okay, so a Destiny dice was used, and that obviously is going to basically bring those pinks back. So I guess 3 pinks for the use of one single Destiny dice has definitely got to be worth it.
Absolutely. That's absolutely manic. What, did you get 3 back?
Yeah, 3 pink.
Which is actually 6 blues and another 6 Brimstone Horrors, which is good. There we go.
That's a lot of models.
It's a lot of models.
For a 1?
For a 1, yeah, it is. I mean, a unit of pinks is 180 points, so if you can kind of keep doing that over the turns, you do quite well. But I think Darren's going to be a little bit gutted about his Destiny dice. He only got the 1/1 and a bunch of 3s, which are nearly useless.
Yeah, 6 3s are never going to be a great amount of use, I don't think, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to give you guys a kind of like more detailed scan of the board so you guys can check it out with me. So this is the tabletop as we see it. Well, it's not as we see it, as we all see it as a group, a community. So there we go. So there's the Changeling, and he's blocking there, keeping it safe, which is cool. Those are the blues as well. Those are the Storm Fiends, the Brims over there. And then as we go forward, you can just see that the horror hero is actually here in the far right-hand side. So there he is. So he's not on the Balewind at the back. That Balewind's currently not been cast. So he's actually behind there, if that's of interest to anyone. So all of the heroes are safe, and Darren's going to want to keep as many of his heroes safe as he can from that shooting as he develops a summoning pool initially. Yeah. Right.
So... Okay, so we're now officially in Jack's hero phase.
Yes.
And
okay. So he's only got the two
2 wizards left.
2 wizards left. He's got the Grey Seer on the Screaming Bell, and he has of course got the
another Bombardier.
The other Arch Warlock Bombardier, which with the loss of the one with the Vigor Dust Injector, which is a big shift. Darren might actually decide to just take out the Bombardiers. And then the Storm Fiends are genuinely a lot less of a threat. Yeah,
I think that extra damage and all those rerolls is huge.
Ben Savage list has got 3 of them in for triple redundancy. Jack's only gone for the 2. So actually, I think that's actually super pivotal if you're getting onto it realistically. Yeah.
So one of the realm spells has been cast. I missed what unit it would cast on. Okay, so the Storm Fiends have got +1 to wounds.
+1 to wound from the realm spell cast on them. And then because of they're outside of Unbind range here, the only Unbind he's going to have is going to be this from the Changeling. I'm pretty certain that the Changeling is going to just like use that 6 and go for maybe the big Unbind, but we'll see.
So I think more Warp Power's just been cast
successfully.
And it's onto the Storm Fiends.
And onto the Storm Fiends. That's fine because they can't do anything this turn. It's next turn's the issue, right? That's when he has to like bring it into play. Like they can absolutely decimate 10 Brimstone Horrors. They can burn them to death.
I mean, I'm sure those Brimstone Horrors are worth the points kind of focus.
Yeah, agreed. We'll try and get those pieces of paper off the table, John. That'd be nice, unless Darren needs it. So going into Jack's turn, what do we think Jack can do to win the game, ladies and gentlemen at home? I'm very excited. I think it's going to be... So Skaven Tide's gone down. So that's also been cast. So this is the endless spell from Skaven, obviously. So he's going to be looking to fish for some wounds here. I think is going to be the key. And Skaven Tide, because it's an endless spell, it does mortal wounds. So Jack said that it could target his own models.
Okay.
So because the Changeling is currently pretending to be a Grey Seer, he's using it to target his own.
Okay.
Which is that.
So what he's hoping is he's going to take that model off the table.
That's exactly what he's hoping for.
He hasn't.
He has not. Okay, how many wounds has he done? 2?
So how many runes came through? 3 wounds have come through.
Okay, so 3 wounds have come through, which is actually quite a big deal because going into the priority roll,
Yep.
whoever takes the first turn or doesn't, this is going to be pretty swing for whether or not he wants to keep the changing alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty certain that that's going to change the shape of what's going to happen. Jack may then now, just because of that spell being cast, he may play super defensive and just wait to give the turn away to Darren on the priority roll so that he can move Skaven Tide himself and take that. I know that seems like such a tiny decision, but that might have changed the shape of the whole game.
Okay, so all our feedback from the table seems to think that Jack is just going to play for the double.
Okay, even Donal, everyone.
And he's just moved the Storm Fiends through the Gnaw.
So he's moved them through.
Yep.
But then even then, if he moves them through, they're still not in range of the Lord of Change. Okay, but their effective range is still 30. I don't think that actually it will put him in range because he'd have to be on the 18-inch line. Well, a little bit back, 16-inch line. There's no way, even on this turn, that he could be in. No, there isn't, even on the double. So the key is whether or not he gets himself. So the smart play is he gets him 9 inches outside of the brimstones. If he's able to do that, and he gets the charge off on the brimstones,
it brings himself closer.
Kills the brimstones, shoots over here. Then that could just be the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be really big. It's whether or not he's going to have a hero for the reroll. So it might just have to be a ballsy straight up. We're finding out from the table boss whether or not that is 9 inches away from the brims. I don't think it is. That's going to be. It doesn't look like it to me.
That can't be 9.
That's not 9 inches.
That's a very big 9 inches. We won't ask any ladies if that's right.
Yeah. Stormfiends can't fly, so they can't move through Camflat. Right. So they have teleported. They've gone from here to here via the Gnaw hole. That's exactly what's happened.
So we've just had a confirmation from the table that even on a double, that Lord of Change is out of range.
Yeah, which as stated. So honestly, he's lying about going for the double.
He's got to be right because there's no benefit to it.
There's zero. He just puts himself in range.
Unless he honestly thought that was going to be in range.
Huh?
The only way I can think that he thought that was going to be in range on a double turn, and I think he's probably played enough Warhammer to know that's not.
Also, you could just get a tape measure out and just measure it and go.
But he might not have a tape measure, even though there's I think currently one in his hand. But you never know. Maybe it doesn't go that far.
No, yeah, exactly. So the clan rats are going to go around, and to quote my friend Mick Wendell, everything is a threat when you're playing Change Host because your pink horrors and your blue horrors are the little motes of magic, easily smote from the world, even the lightest touch and feathery brush.
A nice, just swift blow.
Yeah, so a teeny rat stab will absolutely get them. But also, why would he set himself up for the double when the purple sun is there? Like,
who knows?
Like,
I guess
if he takes the turn, you move the Skaven Tide, right, into your own army.
Well, because he's going to struggle to get that purple sun to not hit his own units now.
Pardon me?
Well, that purple sun's hitting his own units now.
That purple sun would be hitting his own units.
Even if he gets to move it himself.
Yeah.
He's hitting himself.
So it's quite limited range because of the back of the base. I don't think we'll see where the Plague Monks move. Probably won't be able to go towards the Screaming Bell. But he's going to want to hit those Plague Monks. No, on 40 you're going to kill 5, maybe 6 Plague Monks with the Purple Sun. It's not really there.
Oh yeah, but I mean, so on if he double turns and Darren chooses to move Skaven Tide to keep this changing alive, Darren moves that. He's going to hit himself whatever now with that move.
Yeah. I mean, that's the power. So this is pretty much how I run. I run my Tzeentch army slightly differently. I put a lot. Turn 1, I put 3 or 4 offensive spells at someone's army on the first turn. Then going second. Then if they want to if they get the priority roll, or if they don't, I'm just moving some spells in and out of their army. It's really tough to deal with. It's why Geminids is a spell I think you should always take. Me and Darren actually did a show before the LGT talking about him taking Geminids to this event. He's like, I can't fit it in. Instead, he's gone for taking the the Eighth of Void Pendulum to kill his own pinks to get blues on the board. It's going to be a slow game, ladies and gentlemen, but it's going to be a very interesting game. So the spell portals are actually here. So that's 18 inches. However, we are playing in the realm of Ashby. That's not going to change the difference for any of the spells.
Nope.
So it's going to be fine. He can just reverse the purple sun through the spell portals. He can, but then that's only going to hit, if you notice, it's not close enough to hit the Lord of Change, which is what he's protecting against effectively.
Yeah.
So just to get you guys a little view of the tabletop so you can see what it's like. This is what the players look like right now. There's Mr. Darren Watson. See how he's faring. He looks like he's having a great time. He can give a wave to the camera if John lets him know. Let's give it a wave. There it is.
Oh, we
There
show
go.
some skin.
We had a cheeky look there.
Nothing like
So
that
there's
on
Darren, little legend. There's Donal, our table boss, giving us all the hot goss. And there's Mr. Jack Armstrong showing that salt and pepper isn't out of season just yet. So here we go. Back to the table. We're going to see some measuring there. Always useful. Always interesting watching Jack measure. Just making sure he's doing it properly.
Screaming Bells
Screaming Bell
can't make its mind up.
No, it can't. So I think what he's trying to get is within 12 of those Storm Fiends.
Yep.
So you can give them potentially a rerollable charge, but we'll see. We need to work out how many CP Jack is on. That's also important. And make sure that's on there. Bill Souza, happy that you're here. Let me know, everyone in the chat who's here, who's here and where you're from.
Yeah.
Also, who you're rooting for. It'd be exciting to know.
And if you subscribe, there's a red or blue emoticon. So
There
you can
is,
do it that
there
way.
is. I forgot to push the thing. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
come
what
on.
I'm here for.
Yeah, let's subscribe, everyone. And subscribe for the win would be cool. I'm Mo, and I'm from Farnborough. Oh, nice. If you're not Mo Ashraf, that would be the best ever. Do you know he's my personal Warhammer hero? There
you go.
Two Warhammer celebrities, Mo Ashraf and Tony P, responsible for Age of Sigmar as it is now, being an actual game, and they're the best.
Oh, that's a lot of blues.
A lot of blues, a lot of people rooting for Darren, really rooting for Tzeentch, actually. such a change for years ago. Tugboat K, there's Tuggy in the chat.
There he is.
Also, if you'd like to tweet the Honest Wargamer with hashtag #RateMySetup, let us know if you're watching it on a big screen TV, if you're watching it in the pub, if you're watching it while driving your tractor, or watching it from a VIP lounge of a flight. I'd be excited to know where you guys are watching this intense final.
And I think the brims just got removed, right?
Yes. So shooting phase. So we ended the movement phase for Skaven.
Yeah. So what we've just highlighted is that he'd obviously not seen that move of charging these, which would have been in range, we think, to make that shot next turn.
Yeah.
So he's completely missed.
Did he even try the charge?
No, he shut them all off the board.
That doesn't make any sense. But okay. Fair enough. We'll find out from there.
Okay, yeah. So what we think now is there could be a point where maybe he's not chosen to go for the double. Maybe he's realised.
What, it was a lie the whole time like I called?
Well, maybe.
What a shock.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Rob is psychic.
Yeah.
He's got all the crystals and he knows what's going down.
We're excited to see the priority roll. By the way, don't forget that Jack is the red player, Darren is the blue player. So when you see the priority roll, that's what the dice will be.
So the clan rats have apparently just made the biggest charge I've ever seen.
40k Bunny says, I'm Max, I'm from Berkshire, currently waiting for a baby to drop. Matt asks, Nebraska stateside, what is faction spell the bell has? You can actually see it in the list, the overlay, if you guys are interested. So big charge from the Clan Rats. What did they
I'm
roll?
guessing it's got. Okay, cool. So I'm guessing the charge roll must have been at least a 10. So it was a 10. Look at that. I guessed just off the screen.
You're a legend.
Oh, got it
You're
out.
A legend. You're becoming a pro. You're becoming a pro commentator as we watch you
That
grow,
might be true.
blossoming.
So apparently, because they're trying to make sure they can get the full 5 turns, they think what they've basically done is done the pile in there as well. So they're trying to work out between the two of them how many would make the combat and do it all as one, because it'll be the only charge that happens this turn.
Okay, yeah. And as stated, there's still not going to be enough to kill those blues. Playing Change Host is so interesting, but the change host mechanic is really strong, but the really interesting part is the pinks to blues to brims, having sat on so many points. So you start quite fragile and you get stronger as the game goes on. It's really interesting. Whereas your opponent, unless it's Tzeentch, is so weak, is really strong early but weaker later.
Yep.
It's a real interesting call.
So 2 blues have died from that combat.
Yeah. So FYI, I'm almost certain if we see Darren, I'm going to call a prediction. Let me know what you guys think in the Twitch chat. Darren wins the priority roll. He's giving it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no advantage to taking it. He's taking it away.
Cool. So we've got 16 faint points on the table as well, I think.
16 already. That's amazing. 16 faint points. If he gets up to 20, then he's going to be able to put another unit of pink horrors down.
Which is pleasant, right?
It's really, really good.
Pleasant for an army that can't summon.
Yeah, he could summon.
16 blue.
Oh, 16 blue points.
Okay.
Not fake
My bad.
points. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Well, hopefully we haven't seen the priority roll just then. Otherwise, we'll have missed the camera. We'll ask if that was the case. Yeah, we did. They didn't roll in the pot. If we could remind them next time, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for that.
Bit of a shame. So we did see the priority roll. Darren won it. No problem at all, apart from I hate you now.
Do we still have nuts to throw at them, right?
We've got some nuts. We can throw it at them. So the priority roll happened, and who won it and who gave it away? Yes, Darren won it, and he took the priority roll, which is important. Thank you very much. The overlay is really pretty. I'd like to thank Tom for doing it. It's also super innovative as well. So Jack also scored in his turn, John. So we'll get the score for that. Got the game on the big screen while babysitting. Have you? Am I not listening? What am I not listening to? We'll find out. So, with Jack winning the turn, he's got to move. He got to move the purple sun.
So Darren won the roll off, I think.
Yes.
And has given it away. Yeah.
He's given it away.
I think yeah.
Perfect. All right.
There we go.
So then he moved. Let's get the order of moving the
so
spells.
He didn't move purple sun through the spell portal.
Okay. No, he moved the purple sun to here. That's where he moved it.
Through his own models.
Not through the clan rats. These are clan rats.
Oh, sorry, Darren moved the purple sun. I missed that one.
So then it's the next endless spell to move. Oh no, wait. First he's going to be rolling the damage from. He's going to be moving the damage from the purple sun into these clan rats. It's going to be the thing.
And I guess we're measuring from the bell there for Battle Shark. Although those wouldn't affect, would they? So.
Okay, so Jack moved the purple sun. Sorry, because we missed the priority roll, everything happened so fast. We were trying to catch up. So.
But he could have moved it through the spell portal, which was next to him.
He could have. In fact, actually, you have to. If a spell ends its movement within X, but he decides so if you move it, but because anyway, it didn't go through. Long story short, yeah, it's
so
going to be
he's hurt his own models.
He's hurt his own models. Yes,
that was some.
He could have had it be down here.
Yeah.
Instead of in the midfield, which is, by the way, where he wants to go. So not the best, but that gave Darren the opportunity to move Skaven Tide into the Plague Monks.
Which is going to hurt them.
Which is going to hurt them. The other spells that are going to move are the Pendulum. It's not a big deal where that goes.
Could go left, could go right.
It's currently in the middle. And also the wall doesn't currently move. Balewind Vortex hasn't been cast. JP, unfortunately watching from Children's Soft Play in Sunday Liverpool, wishing I was there. Do you think 9 Storm Fiends will be represented at Face next weekend? How do you see the Gotrek impacting the list building? I think, Steve-O, that actually Gotrek dies to 9 Storm Fiends a lot. I think Donal, our infield reporter, is actually taking 9 Storm Fiends to Face so there'll be at least one. And it is, by the way, an Irish TM build list. The Irish were the first to be running 9. So Ireland would like to claim the 9 Storm Fiend list, I think, as a group.
Sorry, so we've had a clarification. Rob was wrong. Northern Ireland
Agreed.
would like to claim the original Gnome
Kind of all
Stormfiend
the same
build.
to me, but like, let's not get into the nitty gritty of it. They all sound funny. I kind of think Welsh are in there as well,
And everyone Irish has stopped listening.
including Irish Minotaur in the chat who said "lol."
Shh, don't tell them you said it.
He's also put harsh but fair.
Okay, there you go. It's all the same.
So
You
Jack,
heard it here first.
so Jack is currently the active player. John.
I think we're still... Okay, hey, we're just waiting for some clarification from the table. There's been, I think, a mix-up in our running of that. Did we miss something?
No, it's perfect. It's exactly right. Darren is taking the turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. Oh, Rob. Oh, wow. We is the best. Hey, Paul Bastian. I'm also in Ireland in 3 weeks, so if that is an issue, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, and we'll never see you again.
Of course we will. They're lovely blokes. Honestly, my favourite... So we did the Six Nations coverage earlier in the year, yeah?
Yep.
The Northern Irish guys versus the Irish guys was easily one of the most fun and engaging group of gentlemen playing Warhammer I've ever seen.
There you go.
Like, it was a ton of laughs, and there was smiles all around. I would play Warhammer in Ireland or Northern Ireland at any point.
So I believe Spell Portal has been unbound, and I'm guessing will be recast.
Yes. Yeah, so Darren taking that turn. So as you can see, he's change hosted his Lord of Change
Yep.
here, and then what he's going to do is do a bunch more spells and then run away again.
And there goes Palisade. So I wonder where Palisade and Spell Portal are going.
I can't. That's going to be really interesting. Where do you think?
Probably here.
Oh, yeah, good point. That's a really, really good point.
Oh, apparently this was pre-measured, so we know that all that works.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that was pre-measured. So there might be a Palisade and a a Spell Portal. Storm Portal. That's a nicer name.
Wait, so what you're watching Darren do
Cast
is...
now.
Is he's actually currently doing his Aether Quartz Brooch.
Okay.
Those are his Aether Quartz Brooch rolls.
So he's +3.
Yeah, so he's got +3 to cast to everything within 18 inches of the Lord of Change that's a wizard. Yeah.
That's nice.
Because what he's doing is spending his CP, Aether Quartz broaching it back. So it's a spammable command ability.
Yeah.
So just measuring what's in range and having pluses to cast. FYI, this would be. Would you reckon we're going to see I don't know. I don't think we're going to see Purple Sunbeat unbound.
No.
But it would be interesting to see that.
No,
Bruce
we're
Hammer in the chat
not
says there's a
binding it.
beauty to watching this game was when Darren and the rest of the Bruces got into competitive AOS at the meta at the time was Storm Fiends and Fate Weaver. I guess they are having a duel to see who made the game.
There you go.
Make this game so much cooler. There you go. Look at you guys in the chat. I hope you're enjoying the game. So there we go. Spell Portal down again. Here it is. Boomf and boomf.
Yep.
And
I wonder what's going through it.
So I wonder where the Bombardier is on the table. I wonder if we can get our table boss to point it out. But hold on, we'll wait because we'll see what he elects to shoot. We'll find out what he's elected to do. His there we go. So
Dispel, I guess, is coming. So the Lord of Change's spell has gone off on a 9.
Yep. So he's targeted.
And what has he targeted? Oh, not the other Bombardier.
Yeah, the other Bombardier. So this is going to be doing mortal wounds on 3 pluses. So he's just dead. So so Darren has effectively in 2 turns neutered the Storm Fiends. Yeah.
I think did the Storm Fiends just lose any power? No power.
Wait, what's the opposite of it? Less power.
No power.
Less power. So why the Warlock Bombardiers are so important, if you've just joined us, is they cast a spell which allows them to reroll to hit, reroll to wound.
Oh.
And then they've also already lost the Vigor Dust Injector, so that 780 point unit is now at least, I don't know what the maths is, but it's at least half as effective now here, this unit.
I think more.
You think it's more?
Well, you're re-rolling hits.
So the +1 damage actually comes from
The Vigor Dust.
not from the Vigor Dust. That's +1 to hit and from the Vigor Dust. Yeah.
So they've lost. You've lost +1 to hit, +1 to wound, +1 to hit, and an extra damage,
Rerolls
and
to
all
hit
those rerolls.
and rerolls to wound. Yeah.
That's got to be like 60% less.
It's huge.
And Destiny dice. I'm guessing maybe a 3, or was it the 6 used?
Everyone says it's like the guys in the chat saying it's more than half, so it's massively. And look at that! It's like a scalpel. He's just like, I see that you've got tools. No.
Do you want to know the worst thing?
Tell me.
So there was 2 6s, so one of those Destiny dice must have been changed to a 6. The 12 was then used to put Palisades in front of those. less power, Storm Fiends. so less.
So it's
so the pinks have cast it, I believe.
it's the Warpstone Sparks to give the +1, which are also now gone with the Warlocks.
Okay.
There are no more games. This is the final, and this is for the win. So while Darren has taken out the output that could damage him, he does also still have to deal with. He has to get, if he wants to win the game, he has to take that objective and take that objective at some point. The issue is he's got to go through 40 Plague Monks, and he has to go through 9 Storm Fiends.
I guess the other reason we saw it the last time we saw Jack play is and I know it's I don't know, what is that, 1 in 12 chance of rolling the double 6 or whatever it is.
Yes,
but there's a chance that a Vermin Lord could appear. Which would bring, I guess, some balance back in that favour. But those Storm Fiends have been heavily neutered. Did someone do the maths? Did you say?
Yeah. So everyone thinks it's that it's more than half. It's more than half. And what Darren has done by turn 2 is he hasn't neutered half the army, but it's like we said, more than half of its output's been reduced.
Yep.
But we've still got, this is going to come down to round 5 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he still has to go through the monks, he has to go through the Storm Fiends, but he has to worry about both of those a lot less as he goes forward. Also, this Storm Fiend unit now is just sat walking somewhere.
I mean, I don't know the move on a Storm Fiend, but I'm guessing they're not
6.
fast.
Movement 6.
So maybe they get in here.
So
and then this. So you can't see our wonderful high quality terrain, but this is quite high on a level. So I'm guessing there won't be much line of sight through here.
No, they're really. But the wind. Don't forget the wind launchers don't need line of sight. And they've got the longest range, got 24 inches, but they're a lot worse now when they can't reroll to hit and they can't reroll to wound. And that Lord of Change now, as long as he doesn't go near the Storm Fiends, he can just deal with those units. Also, he's also lost most of his unbinds. So the Grace is the only other spellcaster now at this stage. So closing down those endless spells is going to be a really big deal. It's just real fun to watch.
Yeah,
real fun.
I think it's so. We've just had an update. So that we're how long have we got left? An hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour and 45 minutes.
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. So we've got an hour and a half left of the round, and we're on the hero phase of turn 2.
Yes, but that's normally Age of Sigmar games are front loaded heavily.
Yeah.
There's a lot in deployment and then into the first 2 turns. But then as stuff starts to die, turns get quicker.
Yeah, and sometimes turn 5s take a whole 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you get to turn 4 and you can't decide just to finish the game out, maybe be a better person sometimes. So as you can see here, the Changeling has run away.
Oh, I think he was scared of all those mice,
he
right?
Was. Yeah, all the biker mice from the Gnaw holes. Yeah, the Lord of Change will be retreating as well.
Okay, so the Changeling has run away, but he's also still friendly.
Okay, which is
so. All the rest of the board can see narratively is a grey. Well, this side of the board sees a Grey Seer who's super brave. This side of the board's just laughing about it.
Yeah,
and that's how it works, right?
So there's the tabletop. In the movement phase, you are going to see the Lord Change move away as well. I'm almost certain again to give himself some safety, but I actually would say that he's going to go in here. I'll rotate the camera a little bit, and the reason that I think that is because I think what Darren's going to do is he knows that the wound pool on the Storm Fiends is really high. Yeah, but these Plague Monks are literally paper. Perfect. So what he's going to be doing is he's going to deal with this flank, and those Storm Fiends could just keep jumping around, but at some point Darren's going to get the jump on one of these objectives, because currently it's kind of like You just have to take one objective off one for one round. So I think what he's going to do, I mean, what Jack can do now is, because he isn't blocked off, is go for the double. I personally think Darren is intentionally setting him up for this double and saying, run over here, come and try and get the Lord of Change. If they do that, then all of this can just punk in and give a kick in to this, and then they've won that flank, be able to jump onto that objective.
So 20 blues have just been summoned, and I think... Okay, so we're just going to make a quick move first, and then I think then they'll be summoned. So, yeah, so that's going to happen, and we're gonna watch that happen. But what we might need to do, I think, is just get you a better view of that. So let's have a little look. Somehow I've been left in charge of the camera, so I apologise if this goes wrong. So,
in fact, John, don't worry.
There we go. So you can see a bit more of the table there, and in a minute we'll pop back to our top-down view. So he's basically using some summoning to fill out that objective, and I guess screen his Lord of Change at the same time.
Yeah, we had, as you guys have pointed out quite correctly, a necroquake on the tabletop. One day we will have an adequate set of sticks to hold our cameras up.
Or just people that don't kick them.
I mean, that's hard. They're rushing around, like it's complicated.
We could just take their legs off
at the knees.
May they float.
And make them all play in chairs. The interesting thing about Darren's Change Host, or any Change Host at least that you have to play, it has to be played very, very quickly, and you have to try really, really hard. So I know you guys are interested in what's happening in the rest of the stadium, but because this is such an interesting matchup and so detailed, we have had our infield reporter giving all the info from the tabletop.
We are all hands on deck.
All hands on deck for this game to bring you the best coverage possible.
And I think it's worth pointing out, in case you haven't been with us since the beginning, that so if anyone does take the 20-0 from this game, we're pretty much guaranteed they've won, right?
Yeah, they will win. There are some secondaries as well. We will work them out at some point. We'll get them written down. But currently, it's all about the primary, which is getting the mission. Okay, so we're in the movement phase at the minute. The bottom of turn 2, or top of turn 2. Jack's still got his turn. What do you think Jack can do here? Do you think he's going to make this long bomb play with the Plague Monks? As you can see, Darren is setting up a screen on purpose to stop that from happening. Also, if Jack does make the run, goes for the charge, all of this can shoot in and deal with him. So it's like the devil you do, devil you don't. And also, if he sits off and waits, he's just going to get picked apart bit by bit, I think, realistically.
So we've got a little bit of an update while we're waiting. So Jack's 2 hidden agendas are defend, which means he should have no enemies in his half of the board or his deployment. I think it's half of the board, and so he's half of the board. I mean, that's okay. So it's within his territory. Sorry. So he should keep Darren from putting any units within this triangle that I'm drawing around with a white box in a white box, so it's there. And he has his second one is to have at least one model in every quarter of the table. So if you split the table, he should have a model in every single one when the game comes to an end. I think he's definitely going to struggle.
Yeah, so a lot of people asking, can the Storm Fiends not teleport over here and jump in here? So they have to still be outside of 9, and they also have to fit, which is important. They might be able to. I'm very interested to see if that's the decision that's reached. But also, I don't know if they're really even enough of a threat anymore. Like, you are talking like it's just a lot worse than you initially would think. So that's all the shooting now started to come out.
Yeah, so it's just worth saying, so we have realised, looking at my map, so if they do pop through here, because people are asking about it, this piece of terrain is overgrown.
Wow.
So it nullifies all of the machine guns.
Unless, and this is really important, unless unless it blocks line of sight.
So
Unless you've got fly,
Yeah.
which this Lord of Change has. So if the Storm Fiends fly over, only the Wind Launchers will be able to shoot at the Lord
Yep.
of Change, but the Lord of Change will be able to put 2 lots of magic into them.
So
all
it's,
of this shooting.
It's either or, though, wasn't it? So that was one of the debates yesterday, I believe.
Oh, it is
The
either or, you're
overgrown
right.
is either. So everything through here is shooting here.
Yes, you're right, absolutely.
And that was on Dara's table that I think we worked that out. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
he
you're right.
should-
So because the
should
Lord
be
Change
aware.
flies, he can shoot them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find out whether or not that comes up.
It'd
in
be
the game.
interesting though. So there's obviously horrors here and the changeling here. So putting them out of 9.
And also the rattling cannons are only 12 inch
Yeah.
shots.
So the wind
Turn
launchers
one-
might shoot.
Turn
but
1,
nothing else
no,
is
but if he
gonna-
gets the double, he potentially can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing some. So now he's going to measure. It's whether or not
I
Jack's
don't
seen
think
that.
there is a hero with the Storm Fiends. Do they need the hero to send them through?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, so yeah, they can't go through.
Oh, there you go then.
So they're walking. They're huffing it.
They are huffing it. So they were able to unbind the palisade.
Yep.
As you see, so hero phase, first thing that's done, unbind the palisade. Storm Fiends are walking. Jack's making some very fast plays. In my opinion,
Yeah.
I think Jack knows that he's potentially up against it in this situation.
I think he's got to be right. So, and so if we're looking at those secondaries again, he's got to keep Darren out of his half of the board.
He does.
Well, at least this little triangle that's here. I've drawn that slightly off, but you can see it on the left-hand side. And he's got to push. And he's got to push the table quarter. The Plague Monks are running.
The Plague Monks are running.
I mean, some of them look drunk, but it might be the pillar they're standing on.
So as discussed, them running into that midfield, even next turn, they're still not going to get the charge off into there.
I think they might have just ran into deadly terrain, but my map might be out of date.
They could well have. We'll double check. It might have been deadly terrain they ran into.
I think those plague rats might have run
But
into
it's only
deadly
going to be
terrain.
D3 mortal wounds. It's going to be fine.
Well, they're cowards.
They are cowards. That's true.
I mean, three might matter.
And the changeling currently is still a friendly rat.
Yeah.
Changeling.
So he's not chargeable.
He's pretending to be. Yeah, he's not chargeable.
So again, this and we can't work out what turn he's playing for, but realistically, you'd think he wants to double turn at this point, and he's moved models near this again.
Well, that's the really interesting thing about playing endless spells and continuously playing endless spells. What you have to think about is when you move in the previous turn is where you're going to put them.
Yep.
And where you're going to move to. There was opportunity to put it this way.
Or through the portal.
Or through the portal, which would have ended it up in this area here, and maybe even threatened the Lord of Change at the right situation, but you never know. And then I still don't think the Plague Monks, they move 6, they'd have to go for a long bomb charge and go in here. That would mean that they'll get that objective potentially and take that off.
So interestingly,
But then they leave their own objective free, and there are still 3 turns to play. So there's just loads that can happen.
So interestingly, I think there might have been a miscalculation. So I'm just waiting to see if that changes. But obviously, okay, yeah. So that bell's moved with the unit. Okay, cool. Okay, so because we're trying to, just so everyone's aware, obviously the Screaming Bell can't move without units.
That's correct.
But because they're trying to rush through, it was agreed the Screaming Bell would move. There would be 6 around it. It would have moved, and the models would move around it. So they're just trying to do that to speed things up.
Okay, that's nice. That's
yeah.
nice of them. I think Jack's really against it at this stage. I really do think this is Darren's game to lose as we are.
Yeah.
And through some very tight tactical play early on. And taking. Also, I hadn't realised just how powerful the effect of dropping those Warlock Bombardiers out, so that the Gnaw-holes are less effective as well.
Yeah.
So like really some key pieces, and the mirrors using to absolutely snipe out the correct choices, and it's just like debilitating Jack's ability to return fire.
Yeah. So it's been a long time for me since I've seen Tzeentch played, I guess, or especially at this level.
Yeah.
So remembering how horrible that Lord of Change's spell is.
It's really, really good on those like 5 wound characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you end up within 18 inches of it, it being able to do that and Tzeentch's Firestorm potentially can take out some of the scarier big models in the game. But the real output, as we talked about earlier, is going to come from all this shooting that these units have. This is tons of shooting that can go into those plague monks.
So
At a pretty reasonable range.
have we just seen some shooting into those pinks? Okay, some pinks are getting blasted by some storm fiends, and there was a small debate which was about the pinks being above their starting side, which obviously is a
Absolutely
fine thing.
Yeah, from Battle Shock you can do that. That puts a load of blue horrors on the board actually. Points. I don't think Darren will mind that at all, because those blue horrors. Go for it. What was the information?
So 10 that debate happened because 10 pinks died from a unit of 10, but there was 13 in it because of that battle shock earlier.
Yes.
So I think that's why the debate happened. So we've just seen 10 pinks removed from this area here.
That will put 20 blue horrors down, which in the next turn, by the way, or whenever it happens, puts down 20 shots at 14 inches.
Yep.
But you can always deploy them outside of 9, and it's 4s and 4s. But the weight of shots at this stage, it's a lot like playing. It's a lot like playing grot shooting.
So we're gonna priority roll in the bowl.
Okay, so Jack is red. Yeah, Jack is red,
Oh.
and blue is Darren.
Jack is red and Darren is blue.
Jack is red and blue is Darren. Here's the priority roll. Oh, red's taking it. So Jack has got the priority roll there, and he has decided to take it.
Yeah, I mean, that was decisive.
Very decisive. Very decisive. Not game winning though. I'm going to say
I
that
don't
quieter.
think
What do you think?
So we're just having some questions from the table. So I think if that Grey Seer had gone over, there was a double turn there, and actually the charge on the brimstones that was missed earlier that we've discussed. So there was some brimstones here. So this charge here, we think with that next move would have put them in range.
Yep.
Or the other debate is if this Grey Seer, instead of moving on his bell, had popped over here, because he could pop these over here, we think at least the wind launchers would have got into to shot this side.
I think you're only allowed to use the Norholes once per round.
Okay, but now on this double turn,
Yes.
that would have worked. So pop, and shoot. Maybe might have been. And I know we've said several times that those Storm Fiends have lost a lot of their power.
Yeah.
I mean they're at no power. I think.
Yeah, no power is where they
no
currently
power
are.
Storm Fiends.
And I really and truth be told, I really don't think that they that Jack is going to be able to do enough here. I really don't see it. He might be able to clear off this objective, but at the bottom right from here. But what Darren's been really clever is he's just never allowed a charge to happen. So there aren't the weight of dice to put in.
So Purple Sun is going off on the Plague Monks.
Yes. So just killing.
It's killing Clan Rats first.
Okay.
That giant Purple Sun, straight from the gash, hanging out in Shyish. One Clan Rat.
What?
Few more on Plague Monks.
So yeah, Plague Monks are going to take some damage there.
So 36 dice rolled. The Purple Sun of Shyish.
Worth it.
The biggest spell in the world. Two Plague Monks.
I mean, Jack's done the thing that he wanted to do, which was keep the Purple Sun away from the Storm Fiends.
Yeah.
But what Darren has done is he's used the Purple Sun as a threat.
Yep.
So that Jack's worked hard to move away from that, but the mirrors have been able to go for the Bombardiers, and it's the Bombardiers.
And the Changeling takes nothing from Vermintide.
Oh wow! So Vermintide, the Ender spell went forward and did nothing.
So did he take any damage?
It doesn't matter. He didn't die.
Well, he's not dead.
Yes. So the
So
Changeling didn't die
He's halving the move and can deny a charge.
for the Plague Monks.
Yeah.
Yes. So it reveals him, stops them half moving,
So
halves their movement,
Yeah.
and then won't let them charge, basically denying the charge effectively. So
Which-
those Plague
which
Monks are just going to
matters.
be stood there. Yeah, it matters massively. So what Darren's done is he's used that Changeling to deny the distance on the flank the whole time.
And
so
now
those plays. So even though Jack's made the decision.
Yep.
So because he's made the decision, he can't go back, obviously. So then what Darren has done with his single play is he's just neutered this flank. So even though Jack took the turn, Darren's now in the ascendancy.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because that Greyseer, whoa, he's not a Greyseer anymore. He's now just a changeling. And they're all wondering how they thought a rat was that tall.
Yeah. So this is massive. So that effectively means all of this part of the board is safe. So that in Darren's turn, when he takes it, he's going to move forward with all of this. He's going to shoot all of that off. And then all he has to do is sneak a unit round at some point. The thing he does have to be aware of is if these Storm Fiends are going to come and just grab this objective at some point, because they'll own both. So he is going to have to, at some point, sling something over there.
So some blues just died from the bell, I think. So that means no giant rat.
Say that again?
So the bell basically, and I'm not going to pretend I know its rolls off the top of my head, but has killed 2 blues.
All right, so it's rung its bell. It's sonorous bell.
Yep.
It's a good word. It peeled out, and then what it's done is it's done some mortal wounds to
what
this
it did
blue
is
unit.
spawn some brimstone horrors.
Yeah, perfect. Appreciate that, and I'm sure Tzeentch appreciates that as well. Where's Darren's Herald? So I'll let you guys see the kind of tabletop and some of the key pieces here. So in this bottom hand corner is, there you go. So there's the Herald of Tzeentch on a Balewind Vortex. So you're looking at 2d6 mortal wounds at 24 inches. I'd be interested to see if this bell moves forward anymore. That would be a mistake. Although they're going to just want to deal with these plague monks. But getting rid of the bell is pretty key as well. The issue is...
Well, there's no dispelling then either.
No, the issue is that he needs to sneak in only 3 turns Darren's got left. Those Storm Fiends can move on to that back objective and hold it, yeah?
So just a quick update. The Storm Fiends had +1 to wounds cast upon them. Denied heavily. No power.
But at this point, at the time when Darren decides to attack the Storm Fiends, their bravery is very low. So he's going to want to get the bell near the Storm Fiends so he can spend a CP to keep them immune to battle shock. If he doesn't, and Darren goes over and he just puts a ton of damage into them, they're just going to battle shock off a bunch more. Which is really fun. And there's nothing wrong. If you can't make tiny rats run away, make the biggest rats run away.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to find out what points the horrors have at some point. But the clan rats are going in, and they're going for those blue horrors, which is going to give him more brimstone horrors if he gets the charge off.
So that's the clan rats moving forward, I think.
Yep. That is the clan rats moving forward, absolutely. And the monks are going in here. Oh, this is exciting. Are you guys enjoying yourselves watching live?
Okay, the clan rats are 13 away, so they need... The plague monks, sorry. Okay. So they'd need a 9.
The plague monks need a 9 to charge.
Okay, so 3 command points for Jack. So I guess he's got 9 on 2 rolls.
Okay, all right. So
when they do that charge.
So these plague monks coming in and doing the 9.
Yeah.
That'll also grab him the objective as well. Jack isn't moving, FYI, here. And actually, if you look at the actual tabletop as it is, while Darren's got a lot of units that are now getting trapped in, if this, because he currently owns this now, Jack does at the top, if he'd moved his Storm Fiends here, then what he'd be able to do is just use one model to capture.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he'd be able to hold both, and he could literally just kind of like Alamo it, just be like, I've scored a point above, because Darren is going to have to score this turn.
Yep.
So the charge has gone off. There we go. We're seeing the plague monks just go into the changeling. So it's not long for this world. Bit of a sacrificial piece.
Oh, so this is just their move.
Oh, okay. It's just their move. Okay, so they pre-measured their movement, which is good.
And then from there, it's a 9-inch charge to there.
Right. Okay, but I actually think Jack's in a better position than he realizes.
Yeah. Or maybe he realizes.
Well, we'll know because some of the Storm Fiends, he made no progression this way, and he made all the progression that way. So I don't know where he thinks he's going to go. Anyway. The same unit can hold 2 objectives because it's all based on models. So you can have a unit here, and then in this 6-inch bubble, and then this 6-inch bubble, it's the amount of models in that unit. So this green unit here, as I'm drawing on the screen, they could have 3 there, and they could have 3 there, and they could hold the objectives.
Can they hold 2 objectives on this battle
yeah,
plan?
it's not models. It's not units. It's models.
Okay.
It's the number of models you have in range. It's only in 40k that you can do that. So that would be a really solid play. But also potentially this turn. Because that's the swing point. At any point when each one of the guys owns the other person's objective, which is why this 9-inch charge is pretty huge. If that 9-inch charge goes really well, that's going to hold him up. I mean, if Jack gets that charge, he'll have this objective at the bottom, because he's just going to wipe them out. They'll die, but then maybe Darren doesn't mind that, because then he just goes through it. He just pushes everything here, grabs that objective at the back.
I think, the most interesting thing is as well, I guess, isn't it? If these push through and claim this, actually he's only got to claim that one back next turn. Because he'll get the 2 points for claiming that back.
Well, he does.
And then there's only 1 in it again.
Yes. Taking the objective of someone is actually a bonus point. So you never want to give one up without being able to retake it, which is, Darren doesn't actually have a way as of yet to get to here. Unless there is a unit of screamers on the board. He has got summoning as well. Depends on his fate points. He could there's no screamers on the board as of yet, I don't think.
But there are some screamers, I think, in his summoning
There
pool
are
that
some
I have
screamers.
seen.
Yes, absolutely. So there are unit of screamers somewhere. So that actually is a summoning potential. Or you can just daisy chain hero summon. You can summon a herald and then you can summon blues.
That'd be gamey.
Yeah, but again, you need units to not be there to achieve that.
Yep.
And the Stormfiends are there, which is why he could have blocked it off. And he just hasn't with the Stormfiends.
I almost feel like maybe.
But what has happened is this Lord of the Bell has definitely got within range of the Stormfiends, so that he can make them immune to battle shock.
Is it wholly within?
No.
Okay.
No, because using a CP to make them immune to battle shock, as opposed to wholly within. Okay, thank you.
So he's just checking, I think, a rule to see if he can spend 1 CP to reroll 1s to hit in the shooting phase.
He absolutely can. Pretty normal thing to do, and totally.
Oh, within or wholly within is the debate.
Huh?
The debate is if they have to be in or wholly within the general.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, what, for the
CP to
you've got to check the core rule book.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question.
Oh, bye, Tom Dix. Hope you have a lovely day.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Let us know who you think is going to win. I still think that both players can actually win.
Yeah, I think... okay. So it's... Okay, so that, for anyone that wants to know, was wholly within 18, which... was going to go on these Stormfiends, but they are not, so it's not going to go off.
So no rerolling wants to hit.
And his general, sorry for those who have just joined us, is this bell here.
Exactly. Good luck, fantastic game. It is a great game. Whoever wins, don't matter. It's been a real good game. We've been really lucky, actually, at the LGT to have 2 really, really tight games. So we just find out something was being shot out there. So
some horrors.
The blue horrors at the bottom there. I'll get the kind of nicer shots so you guys can see. Sorry, our overhead's been kicked over the past couple of days. So they're not all dead, though.
No,
there are still 4 horrors there.
I think 4 have survived, I think.
Yeah, 4 horrors have survived there.
Okay, so some shots went into a pink horror as well, who survived.
Oh, nice.
So apparently the England dice failed.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the Plague Monks have failed the charge over there. They have not got the charge off, which is really big.
And I'm guessing that was command pointed.
And their clan rat, it was command pointed, and the clan rats have also, we'll double check, make sure the CP stays right. So that means the Plague Monks aren't going to be going in. The clan rats also didn't go in. Jack looking a little bit flustered at this stage. It's pretty tough out there in competitive Warhammer. Let's see how he feels. Oh, he's accusing Darren of having a jammy turn. There he is.
Yeah, jammy turn.
You're seeing the man stress a little bit there, having to think it through.
And he's down stressing. That's the question.
Let's have a look. Let's see what his face
he's having
is
a
like.
little dance.
Oh, there we go. He is known as the dance commander, second best dancer in Age of Sigmar. I'm actually the first.
Oh.
If anyone says different, liars.
Okay.
And I challenge thee to dance battles.
And we will hold Rob to that claim.
Yeah, that's fine. So the Clan Rats did make it in, and they hit the Blues.
So the Clan Rats have managed to get in because they've got better jogging skills than the Plague Monks.
Yeah. So what's actually happening here is Darren's making sure that the decision, the movement is being done well.
Yep.
Let the mind
Might have
games
helped if
begin.
they had some sticks.
Huh?
Might have helped if they had some sticks rather than those tapes.
Yeah, those sticks are way more. Those sticks would be way more serious in this. Great stream, Rob. Amazing quality. Keep up the good work. Oh, thanks, very Ranching Monster. Thank you. And so just FYI, I would never be able to put on such a good stream without everyone who supports the show either through Patreon and Twitch, and to everyone who took part in our GoFundMe to get us the fancy cameras. So a huge shout out to you guys. You guys are wonderful, and thanks for helping support the community. That's why we're here to support the community.
It is.
So that you support us. So you guys are great.
Some poor little 3 blue horrors. I think three blue horrors just died to some stabby baby rats.
Fantastic Guy says, I don't think you've second-guessed as many tactical decisions during the LGT as you did in NashCon. Player level, higher LGT, just a lot less. Maybe English Warhammer just plays more. I just know what's going to happen in the game of English Warhammer, but maybe that's also the case, realistically.
Yeah.
Okay. So the phase we're in right now.
Yes. So there's some combat going through.
Okay.
Some Clan Rats are getting hit.
And I imagine the Plague Monks are going to absolutely whomp this Changeling.
I'm not sure. They didn't charge him, I don't think.
He's not still not
he's
revealed.
still not revealed.
Oh, we thought he was revealed.
Yeah, so we thought that had happened.
Okay.
Our bad. So they failed all. Oh, so we have swapped to Darren's turn.
Lord Trey Play says, challenge accepted. I'll smoke you in a dance battle. I used to practice b-boying. It's on. It's on. I'm going to two-step all over your grave. Get
There
ready,
you
Lord Trey
go.
Play. Yeah. So that combat resolving that, I actually wouldn't charge the Clan Rats in because the Brimstone Horrors have some amazing output when it comes to shooting.
Okay, yeah.
So what you're trading for a blue is one shot at 14 inches 4s and 4s versus 2 shots at 12 inches 5s and 5s for the Brimstones.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but the weight of it is
It's a lot more dice. You're just doubling, right?
Yeah, it is. You're doubling the dice, but you're not making it twice as hard to do. So it's like a third more output when you change blues into brims. So if you people at home are thinking about doing that, just be conscious of that. And also, because we saw 10 pink horrors die before, we saw more blues die. There's a volume of blues and pinks about to go on the board, which is going to absolutely shock you. And the weight of dice going into those Storm Fiends could do some solid work as well.
Okay, so the Brimstone Horrors and the Lord of Change having a little swap round.
Pardon
me? The Lord of Change and the Brimstone Horrors having a little
swap around. There we go.
It's nice for them. Oh, look, they're daisy chaining. So it's worth remembering that is overgrown terrain that he's now on, but it will bear him no benefit because he flies.
He does fly. He absolutely flies. It's not going to be an issue. So we're now into Darren's turn. So Jack's out on 6 points, so they're still equal. So they're going to have to claim an objective for each other. Darren is set up for the double turn.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if Bruce Hammer's predictions come true and whether or not we see the Changeling slingshot to the back of the board. But we will see. I can't wait to see what he decides to do. It's so nerve-wracking. Oh, this is to win the tournament. It's so close.
Okay.
There's so many options to make.
So we only have +1 to cast and unbind this round.
It's barely enough. However, that's from the Lord of Change.
Yeah.
Pinks, which there are no pinks left on the board, I don't think. Really interestingly, they also get another +1 if they're within 18 inches. So I think we're seeing Purple Sun either cast or attempt to be casted.
Okay.
Exactly.
So from the Lord of Change.
No, I don't think it's going from the Lord of Change. Oh, is it from the Lord of Change?
Was the Lord of Change that cast it? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's just seeing where he can get
getting
to.
set up
So
there.
it's set up
Oh, it's going right by that bell.
behind the bell, in fact. So he's moving in behind. He's measuring it. So it's got a movement of 9.
Measuring it.
Yeah. Triple checking. There you go. Just making sure it's flush. 9 gets it behind, says that's fine. There you go.
We're debating.
Yeah.
There's some hand gesturing.
They're just going to be super specific about the dice, about it, and where it's going, and then we'll see where. Come on, bin chucks. So yeah, that's right. The Aussies. Also, big shout out to my Aussie brothers. If you're watching in America, big love to you guys. I know Bill Sousa was in the chat earlier. I know my Canadian Budtastic guys there. The Irish fellas are in the chat. I don't know if we've got any Swedes in. Let us know if you're from any other country. You guys, I love watching some international Warhammer. You guys are brilliant. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, so that purple sun move is where it is.
Okay.
They were pre-measuring for next round.
Perfect, yeah. Because Darren's got the... Arguably, if you're running an end of spell list, you want to go second in a turn, to quote my friend Nathan, because then the priority roll, if the priority roll goes bad, then you're still moving the end of spells through their army, which is great news. Ooh, because then he's got a chance to snipe out the Grace. And it won't kill it. It won't kill it, but it could do 2d6 mortal wounds.
11 Plague Monks just died.
What, from the 6s, from the purple sun?
I'm pretty sure that was 11. Yeah.
Wow.
11 6s.
That's really, really big.
He could do with one of those 6s on his next priority roll. Should have saved one, Darren.
Should have saved one, Darren. Save that up. Wow, okay. So now he's just got to decide what he's going to cast as well. We are in turn 3, so as you can see, it doesn't take too long to play this army when you play it at speed. It's definitely an army you've got to work really hard to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving around.
Huge, right?
Oh, Sweden here. Thanks, Dojon. And Andy Hughes, Wales. Exactly.
Is Andy Hughes Welsh?
He is. I think he's half Welsh.
Okay.
It's about as Welsh as any of the Welsh team have ever been at the ETC or the Six Nations event.
Okay, the Lord just changed spells going off. I'm not sure who we're targeting.
So.
Okay, so that was denied.
Yes. Oh, okay. Finally. I mean,
A
sometimes
spell has been denied.
The spell did not go off. That's actually quite important as well.
I'm guessing he was trying to snipe that bell now.
Well, no, it's within 18 inches to do the Lord of Change spell. It's not. I wouldn't say it's in range.
No,
I think he's just looking to put more pressure on the Plague Monks.
Everything's going into those Plague Monks to try and remove them from the table.
Yeah. He's going to be pushing those through as hard as he can and just rifling them out. So look at that. There we go. Another Palisade has gone down within 18 inches.
There's one pink stood back there, I believe.
There is one pink horror, because that means that he's actually ended up with a wizard. A wizard at the back of the board.
A one pink horror with a banner.
Is a wizard able to cast a mighty... And because he's there, because he's within 18, he'll actually get +2 to cast, +1 from the Lord of Change, +1 from the Horror Hero. So that's a big swing. Really important. By the way, guys, if you want to help each other out in the chat, if you press the BIP button on the Twitch overlay, you'll be able to see the lists. So they're on the better information panel.
So would we like an update on the score of Table 2?
We would like an update from the score
Our
of
friend
Table 2.
Peter, who we saw previously, went 20-0.
Oh, with his Daughters of Cain. Wow, that's fantastic. What a lovely fellow. We just saw him in round 4 with a beautiful Daughters of Cain army. Arguably one of the best painted armies here. I haven't had a chance to look around everything, but it's pretty great. Oh, Jimbo's here with his Stormcast. They're great too. And Mitzi with his...
And Sava.
And Ben Sava. In fact, actually, never mind.
But maybe the best non-metallic metals we've seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. But he's just gone 20-0. His Daughters of Cain versus Fireslayers.
Yes.
Wow.
So that means that it's even more important that the winner of this game tries to go
20-0. Yeah. So it might not be the whole way. Thank you to the Honest Wargamer, to Man in the Field Scrivo, putting all the info in the chat.
Okay, so Shackles has gone down. I can't see the third one, but that might just be my angle. Oh, there it is. Sorry, there's Shackles.
Oh, no.
So those Storm Fiends are well and truly
screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're getting rid of... I guess, but it almost... That Shackles almost... I mean, they could still try this route, which is what we're talking about.
Which is literally what I said. He's trying to push for the win, and he already has those points there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he obviously... Because then he can... Oh, no. I don't know. don't know, like.
I mean, there's a chance now that Shekels is going to halve his move, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, but last turn he could have just run and definitely held it.
Yeah.
Right, and then the turn after had pushed forward and cleared stuff off. I would say.
I guess there's a lot of pressure here, I guess, in this game, right? So maybe it's thrown in, but you wouldn't expect it.
I don't know. Like we said at the start of the game. We said at the start of the game how important kind of the mental fatigue might be, and it might be that Jack's actually having had a bunch of easy games leading up, meaning he's not really like had the headspace to be playing like this kind of 4D chess sort of Warhammer that you do have to play when you play against change hosts anyway. And we've seen some of that in the early games. The Purple Sun being the threat that he's actually avoided, pushing him into losing his Arch Warlocks, realistically.
Yep.
So it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But very exciting to see who wins the tournament. I am pumped.
So some playmates have died to some horrors.
So we're into the shooting phase.
Cast Treason of Tzeentch.
Oh, perfect.
From the
All right, so just some more mortal wounds going in the hero phase. We'll actually say when we go into the movement phase. Apologies, I was jumping the gun.
Someone's excited.
Yeah, I'm jumping the gun. Well, the shooting phase is going to be pretty. I'm going to big it up for everyone at home. You're really going to see some output on a big scale, in my opinion.
So I'm excited to see those little brimstone horrors fire. I mean, we saw some Skaven set on fire some trees earlier in the weekend.
There we go. So I think we saw this called earlier on. So there is the Changeling.
And he's legged it.
He's legged it. So we are in the movement phase.
Okay. So we're in the movement phase now, yes?
Yeah, we are in the movement phase. And there's the Lord of Change moving up the field, letting everyone know that he's now in charge of the field. So with this being a hero as well, he's going to be able to summon.
Yeah.
And I don't know what exactly is in his blue and a brim pool, but it might be pretty massive. And all he has to do is put a huge portion of them.
Is it 15 blues?
15 blues? That's not loads. There might be a bunch of brims.
15 brims, 22 blues.
Wow.
And 20 normal.
20
So with fate points?
20 fate points. I wouldn't be surprised.
14 fate points.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm interested in how many Screamers are, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see 20 blues maybe go down here and go into...
Just for a charge.
They'll shoot first.
Yeah, well, that's true. So just for anyone, sorry, we were getting that information from the table, and the dice are here. So to not disrupt the game because it's intense, we're just trying to work out that information.
Oh, that is way helpful. Thanks so much. You're an angel table boss. You're doing really good. Eddie Max has told you he'd win turn 3. Yeah, it's looking really positive. We'll see what happens in this shooting phase.
All those years of experience, Eddie Mac knows what he's saying.
Years of experience. Eddie Mac, interestingly, there is a Warhammer Historicals game happening on one of the other tables. None of them are as old as you.
Maybe what? No, maybe not. We could take some photos if you'd like, AD.
We'll take some photos.
You can see what you think.
And we'll fax them to you via pigeon.
I heard AD Mac prefers a dove.
Thanks, everyone. Love Sava, but that Diokami is beautiful. I love Sava, but that Diokami. Why is there a but? I love Sava, but the daughter's... Oh, the daughter's
I think he's saying his
better.
arm is nicer.
Yeah. So
I think maybe a completely different style of painting too.
Yeah, so those blue horrors going down as predicted.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
But only 10 blues are going down.
Only 10, that's interesting. So I wonder where he's going to see if we're going to see the other points used yet, or maybe it's not. And then what he's going to do is he's going to shoot into those clan rats, who I don't think they're wholly within 12.
Yep.
They are. I don't think they are.
I don't know. So,
although he'll remove them. He'll remove them from being within 12. Yeah. So that they are within 12 for immune to battle shot. But then that does leave a potential charge to outnumber. We'll see. Although maybe he's just going to do more shooting into the Plague Monks. They're a big threat, and he's definitely going to want to remove them from the board. There's more Brims also have gone down here. So it's a huge volume of shooting.
So I think he's now also summoning a Herald.
Jay Berry, hi to the Rage of Sigmar. I hope you're well. He says he reckons Darren's going to win the war of attrition. He just moved the changing right over the monks. Is it could fly? I don't know.
It's friendly.
It was friendly and it could move between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a herald's gone down. Yep. So 10 blues have gone.
As predicted.
And a herald's gone
so
down.
where the herald has gone down.
I think up the top of the board.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut to that.
Okay.
So we'll just find out where the herald has gone. This side. Not perfect.
So he's just behind the blues. Oh, there he is. You can see him.
Yeah.
He's having a nice day there.
And then what he's doing is he's then chain summoning. So then he's also then putting another unit of blues there.
Which
so
Jack's very nicely placing.
Oh, that's really nice of Jack. Appreciate that loads. So that's going to be more shooting. And it's just going to crush in here and just do the work. I think Darren's in a really strong...
Oh. Got a change just popped out.
No, yeah, he already ran up earlier.
I missed
you
that.
missed it.
Look at that.
You missed it,
I
yeah.
got too excited about something else.
Yeah, so thank you everyone at home for getting us the fancy cam so that we can actually see what's happening on the board.
and lots of brimstones. One almost falling off the table.
Yeah, so
there.
it's going to be everything now. He's going to put everything that he can out, and then he's just going to shoot. And you're going to see now, as described to me, just what the change host does, or really what this kind of pink horror build does. It's just going to pump shots into here. And just absolutely just own the board is going to be the kind of the tactic.
Okay, so Jack's just spent his triumph on reroll armor slaves on the clan rats that are now just going to get shot to death anyway. So
they are going to get shot to death.
I'm not sure. Do clan rats have a good save?
Well, they're not going to get. It's not going to be loads. So currently you've got 20 shots going in. They hit 4s. So that means you're only going to get 10. So he's only going to actually take 5 damage from 20 shots on average. The brims are going to do 3 as well, potentially. So it's not going to be tons of damage, but it's going to be enough. And it's where Jack takes them from. Does he take them from here? And then that makes these immune to battle shock. If he does, and Darren gets the turn, all of this is just going to outnumber. But he also has to bring all this shooting into the Plague Monks. So I think probably these brims will go into the Plague Monks as well, realistically. These blues are going to shoot into the Plague Monks. It's just so much. I reckon even the Lord of Change is going to go in, you know? Yeah, and do some combat. I really do think you're going to see that charge. Unless he ran the Lord of Change. I think he moved, but he might have ran.
He was here, I believe. So that's got to just be a normal move, I would imagine.
We'll find that out. Yeah. Asteroid TV, all hail the bloat toad. Agreed.
It was just a normal move. Yeah.
They're not armor saves, they're armor slaves.
Yeah.
Skaven slaves. That's the
Okay. I don't think Skaven slaves deserve a save. Just take them off. No one likes Skaven. Sorry, Ben.
Okay. I told you this is going to be a long game, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are well in the chat. Let us know if you're enjoying it and if there's anything more that you would like. Also, if you're watching it on a big screen TV or you're watching it in the pub or somewhere, I would love you to tag The Honest Wargamer on Twitter, at The Honest Wargamer, and just go #RateMySetup. And I'd like to see where you're watching. Send us a picture, tweet it to us at The Honest Wargamer. I'd love to see it.
I'd like to see the pub that's playing us.
Honestly, that's what that's my dream in the future. My dream is that, like, people have their big screen TVs, like American football or like the football in England. You get the beers in, you get the. That's why I'm trying to improve the quality to the point where you're like, I can watch this at home. That's why we try not to swear as well, so you can watch it with the kids.
Yep.
You get people excited. That'd be really fun. So we're in the shooting phase now.
Yeah, we're still shooting, and there is a lot of Plague Monks dying.
Yes, they are going to absolutely go down. So as you can see, Darren's pointing out which units he's going to fire into the Plague Monks. He also, I imagine, he's going to shoot into the Clan Rats who made the charge, just to make sure that they're gone as well.
Yeah,
so
I'd
that's
imagine
that unit
so.
here.
So the pinks are going into the Clan Rats.
Yep.
So I guess at the back.
It's our pleasure to bring you the great coverage. It's not a problem. Let's look at the top down and see how the board looks right now. There you go. So Purple Sun. So as we can see it here, 6-4. We are moving into a potential turn for a double turn for Darren. I think if Darren does get that off, he potentially is going to take this. If he doesn't, by the way, I'm not counting Jack out. But I think he probably will lose. It comes down to priority rolls and whether or not he gets this objective. Because if he gets this before Darren does, he has to also go and get that over there.
And the shackles, I guess, the shackles are going to also bring something into play now. Because if they halve this movement, it's gonna really slow down a 6-inch move with nothing to charge, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's interesting. So this was the threat, one of the main threats of the entire army in Jack's favour, or on Jack's side, and they've done nothing. Yes. And they haven't even been hit because they've just been ignored.
They haven't taken a wound. They haven't been wounded. They've been outplayed, outclassed, and outmoved at every opportunity, and danced around. And this has been a surgical strike, as I would describe it. It's been an incredible game to watch. It's been the utter dominance of the Tzeentch force, just picking apart the army at every turn.
Yeah, I mean, even the focused snipe shots on bombardiers, the placement of this continued barrage of stopping these.
So the top down, in my opinion.
So we have gone to the charge phase, and lots of blues are charging.
There we go. So you guys can see a little bit from the side angle here. We actually think this is the top down is one of the best ways to get a tactical overlay. We think it's real useful. By the way, guys, if you guys want to click the list, you can do the BIP. John, could you just make it so that it explains what the BIP is to people and where to find it? That would be great. Appreciate that. So we'll just get the UI changed for you guys. So if you, I'll tell you in a minute. So the Brimstone's gone in.
Yep. So the Brims have.
So not all the Plague Monks are dead yet.
No, they've survived.
They have survived, and the Clan Rats.
There are 15 Plague Monks left.
And that's a lot.
Yep.
They can do some really good work.
And none of the Clan Rats died at the back of the board?
None of the Clan Rats died. That's really funny.
A whole one.
Oh, a whole one.
And I said they're not going to battle shock.
Devastating. They are not. Well, so I really did egg on that shooting. Didn't really do what I thought it was going to do.
So these are the worst deep blue horrors.
Yeah.
I
think he's going to try and charge them in as well. He actually doesn't lose anything from doing it because the Clan Rats are going to do next to nothing.
So they all failed, I think.
They all failed their charges. Had he got both of those 2 charges off, he would have claimed the objective.
Yep.
So that's really big. Also, locking in those Plague Monks here has been really massive, so it means that they just can't go and threaten that order change if he loses the priority. Constantly playing to make sure that...
Here we go. So the Brimstones did nothing in combat to those Plague Monks.
So the Plague Monks are going to return fire. So I'll bring you the top down again so you guys can see exactly what's going on.
So 4 are going back in.
Yeah. They'll kill quite a few of them.
Can they kill 10?
They haven't charged. They're still re-rolling to hit. Maybe.
No, that's not a yes or no.
No, they can't.
Okay, we've said no.
I don't think they even can on the maths. No, I don't think they even have enough attacks to do it. Yeah. You haven't updated the list. Because Jay Berry, if you actually look on the UI of Twitch, if you press BIP, there's a little symbol kind of in the side. If you press that, it actually has the list contained inside it.
Yep.
So you can watch the match while also reading the list at the same time, which is pretty nice. Captain Andrew Math says no. I agree.
Okay, so Rob was right. 2 Brims died. 2.
Yeah, 2.
Not 10.
Not 10. 2. So they're locked in now. So that means the priority roll is safe. Also, if Jack gets the priority roll, the Purple Sun comes into the Plague Monks as well.
Yeah.
Or to the Bell.
Yeah, one or the other. I guess it's going to do more against the Plague Monks probably than the Bell, unless it hits.
Change House is really hard to play, and as noted here. As you can see, it's been super, super fragile and has been really difficult to achieve. Darren, by the way, is the LGT champion, the reigning champion.
So we're about to go to a priority roll, sorry.
Hold on. Oh, dice cam. There we go. So red is Jack, blue is Darren. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Jack has got it. Because they've rolled equal, Darren just had the turn. Jack gets the priority. So Jack's in ascendancy. The score is equal.
The Purple Sun, I guess he's going to move first.
Purple Sun is going to move. I imagine a smart move is there. Then he'll get... There we go. Thanks, Darren. Look at that. I mean, mentally in sync. It's going to get both. Sweet potatoes. So he's going to roll that unit and roll. Big roll on the 6 here. Is we going to see that first? No, we're going to see the unit. He's saving it for us so we can savor the dice roll.
Maybe we should have made him roll it in the tray.
It doesn't matter. It's good.
Just for funny.
Yeah.
So what we have just discussed is he could have put it into the spell portal and brought it over here.
He could have.
It's way too far, I think. Yeah.
Oh. He doesn't get the 6. So he hasn't got the 6 on the Plague Furnace. Not a Plague Furnace, sorry, on the Screaming Bell. So the Screaming Bell has not taken it.
And has a chance to summon.
It does, yeah, still available.
Which I think could change the game again.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It actually could make a big difference.
Could get all up in the grill of the very open Lord of Change now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he has to fit it outside of 9.
Oh, so probably not.
No. I mean, there's still an area where you can do it. All of this is available.
But it's also a caster, so it might be able to help get rid of some of those spells.
And Skaven Tide's going to go.
Blocking.
I imagine... So Jack's going to move Skaven Tide. He's going to try and push it. So more Plague Monks have gone from Skaven Tide. I don't know what Jack was aiming for with this turn.
Skaven Tide, really good at killing its own units this
It's
game.
been really good all game.
I think it's killed more rats than anything else.
Yeah.
And you think rats wouldn't eat rats because cannibalism's not cool?
Listen, the Underhive is a dark and dangerous place. Is it called the Underhive? Undercity. The Undercity is a dark and dangerous world.
I reckon you could find out more about that in Black Library books.
Yeah, you can. Skaven Tide doesn't affect rats. Well, the guys have actually been playing it does affect rats the entire game.
Yeah.
So,
silly
Jack
rats.
used to his advantage early on to try to kill the changeling who
was a rat at that point.
Who was a rat at that point. So, if he doesn't, Jack's been playing that wrong. And is about to kill him with a wrong rule. He's alive. He's alive. Jack is beside himself.
He's got a whole wound left.
He's got a whole wound left.
He's been hit by Vermintide 3 times, I think. Yeah, three Vermintides.
Yeah. Is the Screaming Bell immobile? At this stage, it is indeed immobile. It's just plonked there. There are no rats to help it move.
It's having a lovely time.
It's having...
Maybe they're having a picnic right by that Purple Sun.
Okay.
Lit dimly like the Undercity.
Like the Undercity where the Skaven are from. Absolutely. I wish we could zoom in on some of the models, but none of them look nice.
2 average armies.
Yeah, one of them borrowed as well, but
played exceptionally.
Played exceptionally, absolutely. So there we go. So there's the bell, measuring what he's going to try and unbind.
Okay, so the pink horror has just been killed by the bell.
Oh, the bell has been killed. The pink horror, he's dead.
And he was good at casting that.
Yeah, and he obviously can't do. He can't try and unbind anything anymore. So he's rolled the result that on a roll of a 6, take a mortal wound. So he's just doing it on every unit.
Okay.
He rolled it on the pink horror first because that's the unit he wants to kill. So it was over there. It was a little hit. It was a little caster. Now he's finally dead. We appreciate, guys. The guys need clarity on the Skaven Tide rule, but we can only call it as they play it, if that makes sense. So that's fun.
I missed the Skaven Tide rule.
It's fine. Thank you very much to Rimio in the chat who's helped us out there. Guys, who is the highest placed Slanesh player currently? I actually don't know. That's very interesting. Our infield reporter has actually taken over the job of table bossing so we can get some hot goss from the table. Because this is a complicated game to understand realistically.
Yeah.
Especially the Tzeentch army. So,
I think... Oh, so Shekels has been dispelled.
So that's actually happened at the start of the hero phase. Before the bell's rung. But if 2 abilities have been able to... For instance, if the bell is rung at the start of the hero phase... I think you get the choice.
So they've also dispelled Palisades?
Okay, so you can dispel, like, if you've got 2 unbinds, 2 dispels, they can. Yeah, 1 at a time, but you have to do it at the start of the hero phase.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you've got 2 dispels, you can do it, but yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Oh,
sweet.
we've gone quiet. Sorry, we're getting distracted.
Oh, did you get told something?
No.
Okay.
Well. So there was some debate about the endless spell dispel, but you
You do it
gave
at
your
the
point.
start. That's
No, that each wizard could only dispel one.
Oh no, no. You can use. That's a great question that I don't know. Truth be told, but Donald is going to check it out.
Because I guess that makes a huge difference if this palisade hadn't have gone here, or these shackles hadn't have gone here, right?
It does.
And
does
maybe
make a big
our
difference.
little Twitch. Each hero can only unbind one.
No, so it's not unbind; it's a dispel. But I do think you can only dispel. I do think you can only dispel one endless spell. It's a great question. If anyone's got the rules inside it, we could bring it up.
And I think. Oh no.
There we go.
Yeah. So the Twitch just
Donald, you let them know. That's fine. I think it's worth letting them know. Yeah. Let them know. Yeah, I'll let them know.
So Donald's saying they're not debating it. They've gone through it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. The players are playing that, but that's wrong. You can only dispel one.
Yep.
Each wizard can only dispel one endless spell per unbind. You can.
Oh. So
has he rolled?
12 has been rolled?
Has it? No, I don't think he has. No, I think they're measuring something. We'll find out from the table boss what's happening in a moment.
They're
He was
measuring.
just away from the table.
So there's no models by the Screaming Bell, I believe, so it wouldn't be able to move?
Yeah, it can't move. So, okay. So the guys just discussing what else is happening on the tabletop as we go through this. If you guys have enjoyed it, thank you very much. Jack versus Darren. This is round 4. Jack got the priority. Currently it's 6-6. It's all about these objectives because we're playing Total Conquest here, and here. It very much looks like Jack isn't going to be able to take this, but he's looking to see a consummate competitor. He's going to make sure he tries to win the game however he can.
Yeah, so yeah. It's just super distracting at this point. It's super intense.
You're a bit distracted by the game.
I'm getting distracted by everything, I think.
Okay. So we're going to see.
Okay, so this has been measured.
Yeah.
There is no... Unless these run, which means they wouldn't be able to shoot, there is no physical way of them claiming this objective. And then I don't know what the roll would need to be on that run.
But then it doesn't matter. Even if they had actually moved across there, and they should have done it 2 turns ago, not now.
Yeah, and then the other problem is that though you can't see because the terrain is such high quality, that in theory would be impassable because it's just a huge giant rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably made of something rubbish.
I mean, they can progress, but Jack's only got 2 turns now. Progress.
Yep.
Shoot. If I were him, I would shoot this back area, and then in the next turn move and charge. And then he could potentially threaten this whole board area with all of that. That's if obviously they don't take any damage coming in. So that he could potentially take that off turn 5. But these blue horrors are still going to be able to take there. So it can't move. It can't move. Okay.
Would you like him to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to... There's just some real debates. About the Screaming Bell. So the game's quite intense, and there's things kind of happening.
The clan rats were close enough that they were able to move, which is great.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's sweet potatoes. So those clan rats were in range to move that. That's how they did it. Thank you to the players for helping us clear up that. No dramas.
That's some magic clan rats, right? Pushing that bell. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's a rule.
You sounded disbelief.
But that's almost quite crazy. Well, it's kind of... maybe they've all got the force.
Oh, what with their minds? Yeah. I think they were more egging it on at that stage.
Go on, mate. Push it.
Yeah. Agreed. So we're now going to see There we go. The clan rats moving off to try and get the bell to help move the bell next turn, I'd assume.
Yeah. I'm guessing, and to charge maybe.
Yeah, but also what they're doing is they're moving away from here, so that these blue horrors are going to have to move forward and go on.
So I think those clan rats ran to get that far forward. I think is what we've just got. So they're not going to be charging. But I guess the bell can charge.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, as long as it didn't run. If it was a Robo Battle board, they could just roll downhill, which is much easier. I agree.
Yeah.
It's a much easier play. Absolutely. So the Storm Fiends are moving now, and we're going to see where they go. So apparently you don't need to measure that. And then sneaking around here to go for the charge. I don't know why we've gone so silent.
I think there's a lot of intense kind of stuff happening, and there's a lot of debate from the players. So we're seeing kind of a lot of things happen that we're not sure of. Then maybe me more than you.
Well, if you guys are having a conversation, I can't be like.
No. So for me, there's things like that bell moving. We were unsure of that rule, so we just kind of wanted to clear that up. Those sorts of things.
Apparently, that's been clarified.
Yeah.
Okay. Good feedback. So it's very tense because both players want to win. Yeah. And also making sure you get even at this stage, even a small mistake could actually change how the whole game is done. They're chatting for turn 5, says Brucey. That's right. They're getting. They are. They're having a talk and making sure they can work out what's being played. Both of them maybe are seeing that there's a chance for Jack if he moves this bell forward and does a charge. Obviously, we're now in the shooting phase. I'm almost certain. So these are going. Yeah, we are in the shooting phase. Yeah. So we're seeing these fire.
I'm guessing the storm vermin are going to shoot at the giant.
Can we not guess? Can we be told?
Are the storm vermin shooting to that back
Storm
objective?
Fiends.
Storm fiends, sorry. Okay, so the storm fiends shot some pinks that were left, which I think must have been at the back of the board, and the bell has made its charge.
Okay.
Okay, so there was some pinks in a single unit by this objective here, I think.
Perfect.
So they've been shut off, and the bell's charged in. So it could still go either way, I think.
Maybe but there's this bunch of brims here which can just keep claiming the objective. So that isn't going his way. The furnace isn't going to get to do enough damage. Those plague monks which have actually gone south have to go towards the closest model, which is actually in that direction. So they've gone too far south. You have to always move. So they were there and they've moved down, and they should move closer, which is how you're meant to pile in and get that. And there you go. You're seeing the brimstone horrors removed in close combat. I think the players just both agreeing that the plague monks will kill them. So then we're going to see the combat here going into here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to see. So I guess the biggest debate is that do we think a screaming bell can kill that giant pile?
Well, it's not all blue horrors. If we go and have a little cheeky look, you can see because there's the blue horror unit there that's mixed in with the clan rats, and there are still 2 pink horrors here.
Yeah.
So there's no way that they still don't have enough models. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 models that moved in correctly down. Are now within range to claim. However, it's whether or not. So there you go. So that model's moved around this closest model, so we've gone around. So that's absolutely fine. And I assume he's going to be trying to deal with those pink horrors, which are still wizards. So very interesting.
So what we're going to see, I guess, is this combat. I realistically, that bell's not going to clear enough, I don't think, to score, although there's some clan rats there as well.
Yes, there are some clan rats
and
there.
it's these that have piled in, I guess.
So it's whether or not the blues die enough that they're going to be able to score through and take that objective. If they do, it's going to be a pretty big swing.
Okay, so the pink horror has died. But I guess the rest of those blues are left. I don't know if any more attacks are going into it. Just don't say it.
There you go. The combat happening now. I think the Screaming Bell's swinging in, absolutely. And he's going to clear that. It's going to be pretty big if these blue horrors go. They're going to be able to hold that objective and push through, but we will see.
Yeah, so all the combat from those Screaming Bells gone into whatever pinks were left and finish them off. But that's going to leave, I guess, the massive bodies that's still there.
Yeah. I think that's not enough to clear the blues.
He's not going to claim that objective, is he?
No, I don't think so. So that's good news.
And I guess, shortly we're going to see Darren's turn.
Yes, it's going to be. Well, did they just do the priority not in the pot, or they just?
We're not on priority, are we?
No. Yes,
so this will
Jack
be the
had the
end
term. Yeah.
of
So it's going to be the bottom.
Jack's turn.
Just me jumping ahead as always. It's going to be the bottom. Yeah, Darren's turn now. So he hasn't claimed. So it's still 4 points. He scored 4 points that turn.
Has Darren claimed the objective?
Wouldn't he have scored 2?
Jack scored
claimed the objective on this bottom. Which is a 1 point swing.
So it should be.
So it's +1.
Yeah.
+1. So it's 4. There you go. So he did actually claim this objective here, thanks to those 4 monks that went down, as opposed to a cross.
Well, there we go. So I guess it's that interesting point of this battle plan, isn't it? Where if he claims this back now with all these brimstones that are below, he's going to get the 2 point swing back from there. So if he can claim this one by just walking onto this, he's going to then take a 1 point lead.
He is, absolutely. And then it all comes down to the final turn and whether or not those Storm Fiends, again, as discussed, are going to move across and get the charge off on there, or whether or not they can just drop some models that way. I
don't know if it's even worth the Storm Fiends just going for that.
I mean, yeah, that does make a big difference.
Okay, so the Changeling and the Lord of Change have swapped positions. So the Lord of Change is now, I guess, I'd say front and centre, but he's not really, is he? He's on a nice kind of left-hand coast side of the board. Right, so what we're going to do is just come back to you guys in the chat. Yeah, there's about 19 minutes left. I can't see who asked that. Paul Bastian. And where are we going? So obviously the players are talking everything through. So we're going to roll with that one. But it's been pretty tight the whole way through, and they've measured out a lot of things for like the next turn continuously. So we're pretty happy to see them play the game how they want to play.
Anyway, let's look what Darren's going to do in his turn. As stated, he's change host and move the unit across. I think we're going to see some spells come out of him. So it's whether or not.
So what we want to basically see is how many points, I guess, in this round Darren can claim, right? Because if he takes enough and he finds some way to chain this, although I think most of his summoning points have probably gone from the previous turn, if there's a way of him claiming this, I think he might push his lead so far ahead. It doesn't matter at this point.
It does. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, he still could potentially put some. He did summon this early. It's called. It's been a long day, and you guys have been fantastic. It's a horror hero, right up there. Is what he uses fate points for, which could have been used for. I don't know. Like it could have used a bunch of different things. We still think he maybe could have put some screamers down and set them across.
I guess the hero was there for this chain, but I'm not sure it helps so much. We've just seen the clan rats die, so he's already claimed this objective back on points or on number of models. I'm afraid. Sorry, it's a long day.
Yeah,
my words are going wrong. So he's. I mean, all he's got to do is survive a couple of models in that combat to claim that point at this stage. So he's going to get his 2 points.
I mean,
back
the smart move is to move the brims as close as they can get, even charge them in potentially. Also, if he can retreat the blues and keep them within 6, is also just let them just be in charge of combat and then just shoot off the monks with these blues, shoot off these, just get rid of that threat, and then realistically take all these guys and drop them on to the objective.
Yeah.
And Darren still has loads.
There's a good pile of summoning on that side of the board. we'll see what he does with that. I guess. I think now it's just about how Darren plays this out and how his turns play out.
Oh, really?
Well,
I mean, that's a good way.
yeah, there we go. I'm done. It's Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Let's look at that screaming bell, the magical screaming bell, powered by thought.
I think for me, if there's enough in that summoning pool to chain up to that other objective, I think he can put a lead in there that's just unreachable.
Yeah, absolutely. Darren. So yeah, Darren can score this, which will score him. So he'll score 1 here, 1 here.
Two
Sorry,
there.
2 here, yeah, and then 2 at the top.
Yep.
So that is going to put him on 5. So it's going to put him on 11 points going into the priority roll. These Storm Fiends are still a particular threat. What's interesting is what they could still do is move. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Late game, they can shoot here.
Yep.
Clear those. Charge.
Yep.
Right. Over here, string themselves out. So one model is within 6.
Yep.
Grab that objective. Grab this objective here. So that would actually be 4 points on the board plus the 1 at the top. That would be 5. If Jack does that, that's going to put him on 15.
Yep.
To Darren's 11. Darren then would have to take this back and also be able to take another to win the game.
Okay, we're about to go into the movement phase.
For Jack.
For Darren.
Darren. So it's Darren's currently active.
So we'll just get the HUD updated for you.
Yeah, the HUD.
HUD.
Overlay. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Maybe I'm a robot at this point.
You've done so well. Can we just get a big shout out to James in the chat from the Scribes of War Wargaming group, an amazing group of guys who's come down this weekend and done an entire weekend of coverage for you guys to listen to at home, you guys and girls. So thank you very much, James. You've been wonderful.
Anytime, Robert.
And also to Donor and John, also helping with the table bossing and the infield reporting. Shout out. Yo, we love you, James. There you go. You smashed it. You have smashed it. You've done great.
So we're having the Lord of Change is running. Did I just catch? Yes. He's decided he's put some weight on, sitting in the back corner. He's going to have a little jog.
Yeah. So he's just moving, making sure he's outside of range of those Storm Fiends, or I think potentially luring those Storm Fiends in.
Yeah, maybe trying to bring them back.
Because he's maybe has seen that this is a play that we've talked about to score the points. Look at the profile of having such a large unit to potentially score with in the right thing.
And we're about to see, I guess, him move on to that objective. So
this is tense. Everyone's super tense.
It was set up last turn. All these models here.
There you go. So all the units are moving forward. I'm not sure about the time left on the clock realistically.
I think there might be about 20
minutes left on the clock.
There we go. 15 minutes.
Yeah. Andy Hughes says, James, to replace Speckles for all future streams, please.
Oh, poor Speckles. He knows loads about flesh eater courts and how fluffy they are.
Specifically those. So the guy's playing quick to make sure they can get turn 5 in to see what's happening.
Vermintide's killed 2 Brimstone Horrors. As we just I think they're trying to blast through this turn to make sure that they both get their 5th.
Yep, that makes loads of sense. Darren's last game not able to go to turn 5 because, well, to be discussed later. However, getting him the minor victory. 12 minutes says TTTO. I'm not sure it's true. I think the round may have started a tiny bit late.
Yeah, I think the round was late starting, and obviously we wouldn't want one person to get a turn and the other person to not.
Yeah, so we are in the movement phase. I'm just going to make sure I double check that.
Yeah, we're moving because we had a run move here, didn't we?
Yeah, of course. Right, so hero phase is over, and we didn't see what damage happened in the movement phase. So both players really hoping. There's 12 minutes. Both players hoping to get turn 5 in. Absolutely.
Okay, so apparently before the game they'd both kind of had a chat through that they'd make sure they kind of worked out the 5 turns, I think. So
yeah. So here we go. Here's the summoning that we're going to put down. So the Brimstone Horrors going in. They have to be wholly within 12.
Okay.
So make sure that's right. So yeah, they've just moved the gnaw hole now. It's not going to affect anything in the game, so they can be precise with the measuring.
Yep.
But it's tough to be precise when the model keeps being touched. There you go.
And also, when it's balancing on a gnaw hole, which isn't quite a flat piece of terrain.
How long has the Honest Wargamer been around? We've been around for about a year and a half. We've just broken our year of doing coverage. First coverage we ever did was at the Bobo event, and I feel like we've gone from strength to strength.
Yeah.
Trying to improve the quality of the coverage that we bring you for live Warstream games. I'd like to think, and if I'm the expert in it, well, I am, we're the best live streaming Warhammer outfit in the world, be that 40k hit or Age of Sigmar. So really enjoying it and hoping to do more in the future.
So yeah, we're still just kind of seeing the very precise measuring on this summoning at this moment in time.
Yeah. Arm wrestle in round 5. That sounds like a good play.
Yeah, why not?
Arm wrestle in round 5.
Who do we think would win an arm wrestle?
I don't know. Darren is a vegan, so he might not be the strongest that you've ever seen.
I mean, Tzeentch and Skaven, those are not two gods you'd want to see arm wrestle either.
No, they are not. Yeah.
Okay, so this rushing through, some summoning happened here.
So that's the end of the movement phase.
And yeah, that ended, and now they're shooting.
Yeah, it's all about those plague monks dying here. There you go. Yeah. They're all going to be taken away.
And that's all 5 gone.
Yeah, so that's going to secure that realistically, and then the clan rats dying to these 20 blues and also to some of these brims in here is also going to make a difference, making sure that the bell can't move as well. Again.
Yeah, so there being 2 units here, I guess, makes it harder for these to shoot their way through because they're going to have to choose what units they're shooting.
Oh, well, you do is you shoot the 1,
yep,
and then you combat the blue.
But they've still got to manage that daisy chain, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But you're right, but they only have to get 1 within... It depends on the charge roll. Charge rolls of like a 12 make such a big impact on what you can do, because it's just an extra free... That's why dwarves can sometimes compete, and Gotrek might still be scary. That big 12-inch charge can do some work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I think that's that interesting thing, isn't it? So I'm sure we'll see some Gotreks next week, and that 4-inch move, but a 12-inch charge makes a huge difference.
Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for. I'm very interested. If you are a subscriber, you can obviously pick red emoji for red and blue emoji for blue. Darren is blue, Jack is red, to give you guys some idea of who you might be voting for. I've got to say a big thank you to the whole stream team that's been here, and also to the organizer of the Age of Sigmar event here at the LGT. A wonderful, wonderful man called Mark, and I appreciate letting us be here and bring you this coverage. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed watching this, next week you can watch the Honest Wargamer team, including Darren, who's playing on the tabletop as a commentator, live at the Facehammer event next weekend.
And there you go.
We're also going to be at the Irish GT in 3 weeks. We're also going to be at Bloodshed in the Shire in 5 weeks. It's a busy schedule of Age of Sigmar coverage, which is going to be fun.
So those pinks have just charged in? The brimstones or pinks?
The brimstones at the bottom have charged in to the Screaming Bell, just getting as many bodies, as has the unit of Blue Horrors, just swamping the objective with units,
cool.
which is a really smart play. Dice cam for the priority roll, I think. Is that No. Okay, it was a bit keen.
We're getting super excited. So we're about to do combat phase. So there's this fighting happening here, which is what's going to matter. I'm not sure that those units can pull down a bell.
Oh no, they're not going to kill the Screaming Bell.
Yeah.
No, no.
It's taken 2 runes from shooting and 2 runes.
Yeah, it's not going to die. No, what they are trying to do is whittle down its profile so it doesn't do as much damage back out. Realistically, that's going to be the key feature. This game is going to come close to time. Realistically, it's going to come down to, I think it's down to 10, maybe 9 minutes. So it's real close. The dice cam is only for the priority roll. Dice cam is never for anything else, and you know it. We'll never allow it.
We could just have it for everything. Every dice roll. Can you imagine that? I'm just going to roll 60 Plague Monk hits.
All day.
And your watch dice. Priority roll.
Oh. Blue in the pot is a 3. Darren rolls a 3.
Oh.
Jack gets a 6. So Jack's got the turn. And then he's going to get to go. If he's taken the turn, he moves the purple. Darren's going to move the purple sun.
So Jack's taking the turn.
So he's going to move the purple sun.
Yep.
And he's moving it down. Just there. So he's just hitting that unit and making sure he rolls for every model in the unit, just to again whittle them down so they can't be scoring, because they could move down and try to score. Again, he could just shoot here, take it back. That's another way to get it. So yeah, Darren has taken 11 points. But Darren's still got a swing point here of 2, potentially up here in this turn. And then Jack has got, again, he could swing and take this. So whether or not Darren can put enough pressure back on this at the bottom, if he does end up losing enough models.
Yes.
Real quick.
Just quickly, so Fluffhammer's asked how Darren got 4 points in the last turn, so he'll get 1 from here, 2 from here because he claimed it back because Jack took it in his last turn, and 2 from here because he'll have claimed this one.
Yep, absolutely.
So there's his 5
No, it's just he claimed that one in the turn before. 1 from there, 1 from there, 2 from there, 4.
Okay.
Oh no, 5. He did get 5. You're right. He did claim that top one this turn. You're 100% right. So yeah, 2, 2, 1. That's 5. So there you go. 11 to 10 currently. Yeah, it's spot on. Sorry. I'm so sorry. You've done a smashing job there. Yeah. Can you mic the players next game? Tristan, I fucking love you. Miss you a ton. Oh, dear me. Right, let's have a look at this board, shall we? Oh, there we go. So it's going to be really fast now. So we're going to bring you the information slowly and accurately when we get the opportunity to find it. In Jack's turn, he obviously is going to be trying to move as quick as possible. So these Storm Fiends, FYI, they only move 6 inches. So let's be conscious of that. And that's how far they can go and whether or not they run. So I think what he's doing, looking to see whether or not he can jump over and charge.
Take that point back.
It's a much smarter play to go south, in my opinion. But we'll see what actually plays out. There you go. This is the kind of board for you guys to see if you want to. The rat spell did move. There you go. The rat spell has moved, trying to take out some of those blue horrors realistically.
Yeah, and I guess try and minimise the amount that are on there if he's going to come back up rather than go down.
I'm going to go to the top down because that makes more sense. You can see more information that way.
Yeah, there's still some movement of endless spells, I guess.
Well, it's the hero phase still's got to happen. So he's rolling. So he's rolling to cast Crack's Call.
Okay, so I think they got a bit excited. So they tried to start the turn. Remember, they had endless spells to move, and so just clearing that up.
So Crack's Call has gone off, and he's decided to pick.
It was denied.
And then Warp Lightning is being cast. And that's been rolled on a 7. And I think it's going to be unbound in this situation.
So it cast on 11, I believe. So it's going to be a hard unbind.
So it is being
going off.
Oh, the Vortex. The late game Vortex around his own model.
Okay.
There you go. So he's cast that. Wholly within 7 of each other is what he's looking to do.
So one horror dying there.
No horrors dying there. So he's just rolling it through. This is actually going to go off twice, realistically.
And wounding his own bell by the... Oh, no. No, just some more horrors. Four horrors died to everyone's favourite spell.
Oh, nice. Okay. What's interesting is that's still going to go off in Darren's turn as well if he can't unbind it.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit problematic. I mean, he has got his horror hero right here on the Bellwind to give it a try to unbind. This is Jack's final turn, so whatever Jack manages to put on the board. So he's finally going to move those Storm Fiends to where he needed to put them a couple of turns ago. So he's just measuring how many he can get in range. So he obviously has to... this piece of terrain is wildly. Let's go find out. I don't think it's overgrown.
It is... is.
Yeah, the top down is crooked. Someone kicked it, Tomb King. It's nullification train. Oh no.
Maybe damned.
Yeah. So the Storm Fiends are moved, finally claiming that objective
Okay.
as discussed.
So there are 4 on that objective claiming it.
Did they run? Or did they move?
They just moved.
Okay.
No run.
Orabi, thank you for joining Twitch and joining those Wargamer. We appreciate that loads. So, it's a quick turn. So they just moved there. This, by the way, is breaking cohesion. So those 3 have to go back.
Or he's just going to write them off.
Well, you can't. You literally can't move and break
Okay.
cohesion. You're not allowed to.
So I guess he's trying to work out if he can keep the range over there and shoot maybe at this current time.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might be talking the game through. Okay. Yeah, so I think they're having a talk of the game through because we must be close to or on time, I guess, almost now.
I guess so. I guess they're conscious of it, but really, it's how close they are to the moving. So there was still a play. These have moved quite considerably now in the rush, but there was a play, I think, to move forward here, and then you get the charge and you can snake them out.
Yep.
After you've done shooting into this Blue Horrors for the win. That would have got you the points. I mean, he still claimed it, but then that's the definite claim the 2. So he's charged. He's charged in with the clan rats.
So he'd run down there or
He's
run
ran.
and charge.
He's just ran, or he's charged. Ran.
Okay,
he's
so
ran, so he won't be charging.
Okay, so they would run down to there to claim that objective. So there must be enough bodies, I guess, to hold that point. Otherwise, but yeah, so they're going to get affected by that vortex now, I guess.
So the vortex would have happened at the beginning of the movement phase.
Yeah. So, yes.
Or at the end. At the end. Okay. It might be at the end of the movement phase. I'm just going to double check now. Hold on.
So someone's asked a question between running and charging. So running's 1d6. And if you run, you can't charge unless your unit specifically allows it. If you run, you've got to stay 3 inches away from enemy models because you can't go into combat with them. If you charge, you have to be
it's at the end of
within
each
half an
movement
inch.
phase. So it is going to... it's
Pop
the
his
end
own
of each
units.
movement phase, yeah.
Okay, so it hasn't affected the clan rats.
Okay. So he's outscoring those at the bottom.
So yeah, so Jack's going to claim this one, I guess. He'll claim this one.
So yeah, that's
he's
all. He's
not going to claim this one back.
No, so but he is going to. So he still has this one for 1. He's going to claim that and get a bonus point. He's going to claim this and get a bonus point. So he's going to go to 5 and 15. So Darren definitely can get this 1 and then get this 2.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's 3. So that puts him a point behind, which means he needs to claim down here. And I don't see where he's going to get the models to do that from.
Yeah.
That's going to be the issue. So we will see. It's going to be interesting to see if he does take it. Very tense.
So there are some pink horrors in here, I believe, and they're still alive.
Yeah, and also with all of those blue horrors dying, that does give Darren a bunch of points, a bunch of points. So here we are, the crunch time, Brucey's, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone. This Lord of Change here. Yeah, what can he do? Is he going to move forward? You would want a little bit of time. He's got the output to do some work. You could potentially put the mirrors up, cast in here. He's got 2d6 mortal wounds, by the way, that can come from here, from his horror hero, and clear out that objective. He just has to put some bodies near it, realistically. If he can do it in the hero phase, when he summons at the end of the movement phase, he's going to be able to get them that much closer.
Yeah.
It's also going to be a very reliable charge. In order to win the game. So yeah, he's going to need the 2d6 to get it. And just watching the players make a decision. Jack has no more turns. Jack is out. He's ended on 15 points. Basically, this and this we think are secure, so that's 14. Darren needs to take this objective back at the bottom. The Stormfiend objective is safe. It's what he can do to achieve that realistically. So he needs to do as many wounds as he can. Personally, for me, all I would do is just do all of my damage into these clan rats. I'll go and show you how many are left. There's there you can see there's not that many. So it's just about clearing those off over there. That's all that matters. Not forgetting the vortex is already going to happen.
Yeah.
The vortex is already going to clear some of them out, but doing 2d6 mortal wounds into them is going to be important. So here we go.
Okay, so he's failed to unbind Warp Lightning Vortex, which is going to make a difference.
First thing he did. Yeah. He still has so it's very close. He's just checking. I mean, if he's got any summoning points as well, he also can still just bring this horror hero is still giving him the option to put some units here and move them forward. So there's still options in play. He is being rushed. Plain Kevin, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that loads. Yeah, you just need to clear the bottom left. That's all that needs to happen. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that's all that needs to happen realistically, and we'll see what the fallout of this game is going to be. It's real exciting. I won't lie to you guys. Let me know what you think. Are you tense or are you rooting for anyone? So there are no change host moves being made, which is going to be interesting. Interesting whether or not we see the Lord of Change decide to run forward here and summon, or we're just going to see someone from here cast. So the Lord of Change is on +2 to cast and unbind, so he's going to start casting spells. I'm pretty certain, if you can see, or I'll zoom in for you guys so you can see it, over there in the corner is the summoning pool that he's going to be able to put bodies wise. Thank you very much, Donal, displaying it lovely like my Debbie McGee to the magician that I am. So he's sat on, that looks like 19 Brim horror points and potentially 10 blue horror points, so there's plenty there to summon and put bodies on the board, which is all he needs to do to win the game, and all he needs to do is put them here. He needs to make a couple of 9-inch charges. The right decision is to put as many multiple units as he can around here so that he's maximizes his chances of rolling those 9s to just outnumber. All he's got to do is, or all I would do, is clear off those units through mortal wounds. That's going to be the key part. There we go. Also, yeah, if you guys remember September, it's actually half price to subscribe to Twitch right now, and we would love it if you'd subscribe to The Honest Wargamer and check out all of our work. It means we'll be able to bring you more content like this whenever we can, which would be nice, wouldn't it? There you go.
So I think this is the most intense game we've seen.
It's it. So there's a dice roll of a 5 on the unit of Brimstone Horrors over here. Absolutely. So they've got within 6, so they've scored that objective. That's all that matters. The guys are rushing now. Mark the TO is now power stanced.
At the side of the table.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly cut so you can see how powerful that power stance is.
Is
so serious. Yeah.
I think he's more serious than us or the Twitch chat. All at the same time. Maybe all of us together.
All of us together. If you'd like to see what it looks like, this is how you all look physically. Super serious. There's Mr. Ben Sava. He's watching the table. The game is very close. It's on the final turn is exactly what's happened. Darren has to just score the bottom left-hand objective to win the game. If he doesn't, he's sat on 20 Brimstone Horrors, 10 blue horrors, and he just has to flood the bottom objective to win the game. Made a clutch 5-inch roll on the right-hand objective. Literally all he's got to do. And that
okay, so we've had a handshake.
We've had a handshake. We'll find out what the information is on the tabletop. Yep.
And 2 got in, so that's 20 to score that objective.
Right. Okay, so to let you know what happened, they just played it out because Darren's able to mechanically summon 3 units here. All he's got to do is make a charge with any of them in order to grab this last objective. He made 2 of the 9-inch charges.
Yep.
That meant he put 20 bodies around this objective, meaning he gets the major victory.
Yep.
That means he wins the game. Woo! Dear God, that was tight. So it went 16 to 15, a point in it for that game. Wow.
That was intense.
That was intense. I tell you what, the Screaming Bell at one point was real serious. I'm pretty certain it's going to be tense, which means also, Darren, I think, as long as it's a 20-0, we will get back to you on that. And please follow the Honest Wargamer Twitter to find out. It means Darren is now the back-to-back LGT champion.
Yeah.
So he's won 2 LGT tournaments in a row. But we will,
if we're right.
If we're right, if he went 20-0, but we will make that decision.
It
Are
was
you guys in the chat? How do you feel?
19-1.
I'm sure. Thank you to our table boss for bringing us all the hot goss. I think we might be able to get some interviews with the players and see how they felt about that game. ASAP was really cool. The scores have got to go in, but
How many people in
I'm
the
tense.
Twitch chat
I'm tense.
think that Rob set that game up just to give me a hard time in my last game? I'll be in bed for the rest of the week.
Oh, thank you to everyone subscribing, by the way. Get to the chopper. Appreciate that. Sure. If Darren wants to. Yeah, what? Yeah, male nipples are not actually allowed on Twitch, weirdly. I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure. You probably guys don't.
Well, Darren's would especially cause a problem, I think.
Yeah, well, if you want to hear from the man who won himself, he's a legend, and actually one of my... What's really nice is 2 of my personal heroes, one interviewing, one talking, are going to talk about what it's like to be real sweaty.
Welcome to the final of me at the LGT. We're here with Darren, who's probably just won the LGT for the 2nd year running.
Oh, I've completely forgot.
Having beat Jack twice for the 2nd year running.
That'll do, pig. That'll do, pig.
That game seems super casual. You've had an easy run of it, right?
What, Ben Saver, Jack Armstrong, a core list that's designed to shut down... Yeah, I've had a bunny run, mate. They're all fuckers, aren't they?
And the Russian ETC player.
Oh, yeah. Oh, mate, those half-guard berserkers. There were 20 left on his objective. But I got the minor. Yeah, an easy time of it.
How did you find that last game?
Oh, that was one of the nice... So, what a gentleman. Hopefully that came across, but Jack was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning throughout. Yeah.
A lot of pre-measuring, agreeing intention.
Yeah, just the perfect way to end. You want to beat arguably the best person consistently at the event, and I've done that to Jack and Ben, so I really feel like I've earned this.
I mean, to be honest, Ben ended up in the middle of nowhere, so that wasn't actually impressive.
Don't be unkind to him. His list is a narrative list, you fuckers. That's a very... Who else do you know can win that consistently with 43 models? I'm
going to play it next week, and I will.
Okay, yeah. Well, you beat me yesterday, so you're a fucking legend.
Friday, but it all rolls into
Friday.
one. Yeah. So Darren might be the singles champion, but he's not the doubles. But this is about you, not me. Unless it should be about me.
It
No.
should definitely be about you.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you're a champion, LGT champion. We're LGT champions.
LGT champions! How much do you enjoy the Tzeentch House game?
Oh my God, what a fucking list! Like, I've managed... So we theoried it. Me and Rob theoried it on List Diaries, and I predicted at the beginning of the change that this was going to be a big... In fact, I think it was good in the previous edition, but I only sort of thought about it right towards the end. I recommended it for our ETC, but Tony ran it at a heat, and he didn't get on with it, and that's fair. But the slight changes to the points, it's so beautiful. You can do so much that it causes...
Changeling is too much at 180, right?
So good. The Changeling is fucking amazing. Do you see how good the Changeling is?
Yeah, it won you like 3 games.
Won me all my games. Yeah. Won me all my games. He's so good. And everyone said, wow, people think he's really bad. He's fucking phenomenal. Excuse my French. I really enjoyed using... And I hope my opponents... I think Jack enjoyed that. I know it's got a bad rep. I finished all my games other than the half-guard berserker game. That's a different story. But I don't feel that was my fault. But it was a great Yeah, so you can get how people take an hour to do a turn with Change Host. Fucking learn to play because it's fucking easy. It's
Wouldn't say easy.
All of my first turns were done in. Well, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but less than an hour. Well, there you go. If you got you got a little sheet of what you're doing. If you a little sheet of what you're doing, how hard is it to go? That guy's taken 6 mortal wounds, so I do a. Just.
Did you make any mistakes in that game?
In that game, you tell me because my head's fried.
Probably less than Jack.
Less than okay. Tell me about Jack's mistakes.
So there's a couple.
No, interview him and then tell him about.
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
God bless him.
Bless Jack. Bless Jack.
Oh.
Well played, Darren. Would you like to say anything to the audience, to the people who were expecting you to bring an original list, but you brought Change Host?
Yeah. No,
I'm sorry to the Darren's List Diary fans.
No, real talk. I feel a great deal of pressure to perform. I really want to get onto the ETC team next year.
The Welsh team.
Well, I just want to be there. I don't care. I just want to be there. It was so fucking good, and I only want to be there if I deserve it. And the only way to do that is I've had to sacrifice this whole year because I haven't played any. I've played one or none. I'm not sure. It's all been team events, right? And so I was keen. I haven't thought about singles events for so long, so I was super keen to do well here. So it means a great deal, and hopefully I don't want to kick shit out of it, but it means a lot. I'm really pleased.
I'm pleased for you, Darren. I think you remain the people's champion, even though you run Change Host.
Well, I don't think I'm the. Oh, don't be.
I love you, Darren. It's not unkind. I said you're the people's champion. You're just taking a shit army.
I've taken a beautiful army. It's glorious to use.
For your opponent. I
try and make it as fun as possible. I think they other than
the Fire Slayer game.
No. That's not being.
You're a lovely chap.
Thank you. You're gorgeous.
Okay, I think we're probably done here. We'll hand back to Rob while I go pick up Jack. He's gone? It's a goodbye from me.
Listen, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Honest Wargamer crew. This is James. He's done fantastic all weekend. You've done amazing.
And Rob too. Everyone say thanks to Rob.
No, don't worry about it. Thank you to John over there. He's done wonderful. Thank you to Donal. You guys have been wicked. If you've enjoyed the show, then please, you enjoy the live coverage that the Honest Wargamer brings you. Supporting us via Patreon and Twitch means a lot. I hate doing this bit, but I'm doing it anyway. Means a bunch to us. Please do jump in on them. It means the world to us. It means we're going to be able to bring you better coverage. That's all we want. So thank you to all you guys. Thank you for watching as well.
Yeah.
Next time, I want to see you guys having barbecues and watching if you're in the right places.
Yeah, or find a pub.
Put
it on in the pub.
Get it on the big screen.
Take over the TV.
Yeah, T-Sports is a real thing. Yeah, live coverage of Warhammer's intense and really fun.
Yeah.
Really, really fun. It's a big sport. There's only more to come in the future, and it's only because of guys like you who help us do it. So you guys are wonderful. Thank you. Find out the results on our Twitter and our Instagram. We'll see you guys soon. There's a show on the Honest Wargamer tomorrow night. Me, Nathan, and Speckles will be talking some hot goss. And don't forget, next weekend, we're going to be bringing you a weekend of more competitive Age of Sigmar coverage at the Facehammer GT.
And there you go.
You guys are wicked. I don't know what else to say. I love you.
See
I'm
you
going to go
later.
have a bloody giant lie down. You guys are great. Have a great day.